Previously on Inspired Initiative. After departing Aeon's estate, Molly Hugh deliberated on their next move, considering whether to use Aeon's influence to access the imprisoned Khazdurim. However, Rhukkarrak was adamant about attempting a covert approach, disguising himself as a northern merchant to make contact. Despite the party's skepticism, he insisted on his plan. While Rhukkarrak prepared for his infiltration, Maldorwen and Euan spent some time at the Blazing Anvil, and Asja pursued the last remaining lead on her father. Her investigation revealed that he hadn't stayed long in the city, and he had been searching for something unknown. Meanwhile, Rhukkarrak left Elendor, embracing his Drakthir curse to alter his physical appearance into a silvered scaled form. He buried his belongings outside the city before attempting to re-enter, only to find the gates on high alert due to the heightened tensions surrounding the Khazdurim, leaving him stranded outside. Back in the city, the rest of the group met with Aeon, ultimately agreeing to his proposal in exchange for his assistance with the Khazdurim, on the condition that it remained secret from Calorith. Aeon assured them that he would send a messenger with further instructions and ordered them to be ready to leave by morning. Realizing this would be their last night in Elendor for some time, the group spent the evening bidding farewell to those they had grown close to over the past few days. That night, a message arrived instructing them to meet outside the Frostfire Citadel at midnight. Before heading there, they stopped at the city gates hoping to assist Rhukkarrak in slipping back inside. Now, they wait in anticipation. Will Motley Hugh successfully reach the imprisoned Khazdurim without drawing the ire of the Storm Wardens? What challenges await them beyond Elendor's walls? And are they truly prepared for what's to come? Find out tonight on Inspired Initiative. You all wait by the luxurious stature of the towering Frostfire Citadel. The not cold but not warm night air kind of around you. You wondering when this individual, when someone will come to greet you, to help and aid you in your prospect to find and talk to these Khazdurim. And you sit there, waiting for a moment. You all glad to all be there, but a little nervous at the same time, knowing the prospect that this might be a little dangerous when it comes to skirting around the Storm Wardens' watchful gaze. As Lunar, the moon, continues to rise higher in the sky, nearly at the very top of the sky, indicating the midnight. You see one figure, a Storm Warden, marching over towards the Frostfire Citadel. And just from your general insight, you all can tell that this individual is looking for something. What do you all do?
Do you think they're here for us?
I don't know. GM, is there a bush or something nearby that, I don't know, Asja can kind of try and blend with? Maybe it's got some flowers, that would really help.
Yeah, if you would like to try to hide in this scenario, you can do so. There are different...
Well, just not fully hide, just kind of not be front and center visible. Yeah, kind of deal. So, all right.
Yeah,
so
if you
stealth?
want to, roll a stealth check.
Okay. 15.
15. Okay, pretty good. You kind of just nonchalantly slink back into a little bit more of the foliage there. Try to remain a little bit more inconspicuous. What about the rest of you?
Euan is just going to keep eyes on the newcomer. He's on a bit of high alert with going to talk to the Cuz Durham, kind of nervous of being seen, sussed out, or whatever. So he's just going to kind of keep his eyes on the person as they're walking along to make sure they're not up to anything untoward.
Go ahead and roll an insight check for me.
That's 10.
10? Okay. You don't get much more than this figure is marching towards kind of your general vicinity. Not directly towards you, but they're kind of just looking around. It's only one individual, though, which seems a little odd to you in your military training in previous. Usually, any other Storm Wardens you've seen that have been patrolling the city here have always been at least a pair of two.
Yeah, Ruka is just going to keep an eye on him as well, but just if it would make sense that whoever it is that they are sending would at least look like a Storm Warden. But I'm sure that if they are here for us, they will find us. And he'll just stand by you and keep an eye on him.
Okay. With with only Asja kind of slinking back into the shadows a bit, the rest of you aren't necessarily like standing out with a beacon like, here we are, but you're not also necessarily hiding. And so the figure does turn and meet your guys' gaze and kind of gives a little nod, starts walking towards you. So, you all are the... Yes, you do match the descriptions. Perfect. Alright. He kind of just looks around and quite wary of his surroundings as well. Looks back towards the Tempest Bastion, which is a couple 100 feet across a canal from where you guys currently are standing. This is not going to be a walk in the park. But we have some things at our disposal. And he starts rummaging through a pack, pulls out a large, wound up piece of paper that's very nicely crafted. He then kind of chauffeurs you a little bit more out of the line of sight here from like the main walkways. In order to get in, we will need to look like... He just kind of motions to himself. Wardens. So I don't believe that's necessary for me to give you that information, Colonel. I'd rather stay inconspicuous. I hope you understand. So Zathriel has provided an illusion of sorts. Kind of waves the scroll in his hand. That will make us all look. And again, motioning towards himself.
How should we call you then? Captain?
You can just call me sir. If you need to.
Asja kind of steps out a little bit. Maybe, just a suggestion. Looking him up and down and looking at the others. Maybe I stay up here? I don't know how well I'm going to, hide.
If he does have illusions, like he says, it should not matter what you look like underneath it.
Okay. I still don't think it's a good idea for me to go. I mean, the beach and all that. But okay, let's do this. Okay.
You
That
just need
works
to
out,
be
though.
able to...
We do need at least one person to watch. The individuals you will be disguised as are currently on patrol. We have not a long time, but a few moments before they return. Probably less than 30 minutes. We gotta have some sort of expediency with this.
Rupert and I volunteer to be watched because I can send Rupert to come and find all of you with, and good, right? Right?
I don't know what a Rupert is, but...
She points to her head.
This Rupert kind of crawls around and just stands proud for a moment. But nods. All right. Very well. We will enter the bastion and be able to gain access to the prison below. Down there is a secret exit that commoners do not know about, only used for storm wardens. This will be our escape plan if anything would go wrong. I would also prefer someone to be watching that exit as well.
I'll take on that burden.
Very well.
Are you sure? You could be very useful in our negotiations.
If we're going in,
I don't want to talk to the guards during Fortish, if you don't mind.
very well. If that's the case, then I'll go with you. But if we are going under the pretense of illusion, they probably won't know who I am. Unless we tell them, of course, but still.
You just hug him how you hugged him at the beach. He will remember.
I don't know if that will work, but we could try it if necessary.
I was told that one of you at least speaks Kazduric.
I do?
Just kind of gives a nod. That will come in handy. I don't believe any wardens necessarily speak the language. It differentiate you from others. You two, kind of pointing at Brack and Euan, will follow in my footsteps, and I'll lead you to them. Let's all go back now, and we can show you where to stand watch. Kind of looking towards Maldorwen, and try not to look completely out of place as he unfurls the scroll and closes his eyes for a moment, then opens them as they start glowing. He starts to read. The scroll itself then starts to absorb the light from his eyes in this moment. The edges of the paper start to grow brighter and brighter as they slowly start to spark into glitter, in a sense, arcane glitter that just starts to float in the air there for a moment. Or the spell is complete, as then the entire scroll is just a cloud of glitter. It then blows, it then coats each of you. You all look towards each other and see a variety of different Storm Warden attire. The very ember glass kind of inlaid breastplates and armor that they wear. You all look very much like the Storm Wardens you've seen in the past 10 days that you've stayed here at Elendor. This will last a while.
Who am I? in case I run into people that I should know. Or who know me.
You won't. We've made sure of that. That would be a dead giveaway. Your primary goal is to not run into anyone.
Fair enough.
Alright.
Euan,
Yes.
I have one favor to ask of you.
What would you
I
like?
need you to ask them one question. One very important question for me. I am hoping that they at least have an answer. When they returned from Mythendrel, did they take any prisoners?
I will ask.
Thank you.
Alright, time is of the essence. Follow. But he turns and starts walking, marching towards the Tempest Bastion. Towards the bridge that leads to there, at least.
Rhukkarrak will try to imitate his march and position himself like he's seen the guards on duty around the city.
Yep. Go ahead, and I think if everyone follows suit, we'll just do a group performance check.
And
My turn to
this
pull a
is-
Rhukkarrak.
This is where it all goes downhill.
Oh, Joe. Don't say that before the roll.
D&D
I clicked the
happened.
button.
Performance, you said?
Oh!
Oh my gosh.
What?
Whoa!
You're not-
No.
We are not rolling another good roll the rest of this night.
Holy. Oh my goodness.
I'm really scared to do this, but oh my god.
You have the biggest modifier.
Yep, there we go, 10.
Alright,
We
So-
know who has cursed tonight. It's
That
me.
was a natural 20 for you, and
yeah, Rhukkarrak, you kind of, knowing how to embody someone else in a disguise, you kind of quickly follow suit. Both Maldorwen and Euan, you both are kind of the military-esque backgrounds, and so this is not super distant and unfamiliar to you already, and so you follow suit as well. Asja struggles a little bit more, not being from a completely different world, but with the 4 out of the 5 people here marching quite realistically, if you would, the illusions hold strong as you all cross over the bridge and into the Tempest Bastion. There's one Storm Warden on the far side of the Tempest Bastion, but as you approach the actual doors here, the figure looks back towards you, Asja, just kind of gives you a nod and looks over to, like, next to the door.
Asja will get the hint and go over and, I guess, take up position next to the door.
Okay. As the doors creak open and slide open, the rest of you walk in, leaving Asja behind, looking at the city, keeping watch. You all step in, and it is the middle of the night still. It is really quiet in here. There's not a whole lot of activity going on. You do see one other Storm Warden over at, like, the clerk's desk that some of you have been to, just kind of standing there, or not even standing, sitting on, like, a seat, hand on their head, just kind of leaning a little bit, looking a little less professional than they probably should be, but it's late at night, no one's gonna get after them, right? As you then all step forward, keeping in march behind this mysterious warden of sorts. Maybe they're not even a warden. You don't even know anything about this individual, but you're hoping that their connections lead you to where you want to go. And so, you continue to follow. You eventually arrive at the staircase, the grand circular spiral staircase at the center here. And then over to one of these elevator platform-like things. As you all step onto one, the unknown individual kind of kneels down and presses their hand to the actual platform itself and says something under their breath. Or the platform alights with some more arcane energy, and then instead of rising, it starts to descend into the ground. As you all see the floor, not super quickly, but not super slowly either, rise up beyond your eye levels, start to descend deeper and deeper into the subterranean, a prison of sorts. A moment later, the platform... Go ahead.
I was going to say, while we're surrounded on all sides and not in the view of any eyes, while Rhukkarrak is kind of behind this person, he's actually curious as to whether they are an actual Storm Warden or not. So he's going to try and cast Detect Magic.
Okay. Are you trying to do so subtly?
Oh, very subtly.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a sleight of hand check for me then.
That's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Look at that. Pretty nice. I'm okay. So you can tell just this individual, just from the three of yours kind of basic insights, they do seem a little nervous as well. This isn't super comfortable for them either. So they're paying attention to their surroundings. But Rhukkarrak, you have mastered being able to subtly tap into whatever magic that you've been granted by who knows what. So with that, you kind of close your eyes, say a few words, and then open your eyes again, detecting the magic surrounding you. And immediately you're greeted by the strong sense of illusion magic on both Euan and Maldorwen. But there doesn't seem to be the same source on this fourth figure here.
Okay.
You do sense that their armor and whatnot, like some of the armaments they have are gleaming with magical properties, but definitely not the same.
Yeah. I actually just... Would someone using Detect Magic be able to detect that he is using Detect Magic?
If someone was using Detect Magic. Maybe.
If so, he's going to drop the spell because he got what he wanted. If not, then he's just going to leave it up because there's... Why not?
I think it would be possible, but it wouldn't be like an obvious thing either. Especially with your 20 on Sleight of Hand. Kind of keep it a little more subtle.
Okay, then he'll just let it run out on its own.
Okay.
Got what, 10 minutes or so?
Yep. Alrighty. So as the platform slowly comes to a halt, as it then opens back into, you like descend out of a ceiling basically into not as grandiose interior here. A little more grungy, but it's still upkept quite well. This is the Storm Wardens after all. You then step off of the platform. It then starts to ascend again. As you see in front of you, a large kind of hallway that goes probably a good 150 feet. With cell doors, like bars, kind of lining the hallway as it goes around. And currently, it is empty. There is no other Storm Warden on guard. You see that the figure in front of you kind of gives a nod. They kind of take a quick inhale of breath, start marching forward. As you do so, you kind of look in the cells, and most of them are quite vacant. You do see a couple different cells with a couple different individuals that aren't Khazduric. There's like a elf in one of them, like some sort of elven figure. Another one, there's some sort of Drakthir, bronze Drakthir, kind of sitting in the cell, who kind of looks intrigued, but most of these people are sleeping at this time of night as well. You just kind of look forward, continue following this individual. Towards the end of the cells, you then reach some larger cells that are housing that you can see most, if not all, the remaining Khazdurim that were abducted, more or less, from the beach. You see the children, or at least a child. You don't know. There's not a lot of them left. There's probably, I mean, you weren't sure, you didn't get the exact numbers of how many were there initially, but out of like the 30 or so people there, you see maybe 15, a little bit less. In the cell opposite of the main group there is one other Khazdurim who looks to have been damaged quite substantially since the last time you saw this individual. As it's almost to the point where you don't recognize their complexion, but because of the oddity of a Khazdurim, you do notice this is probably Rashtar, the merchant leader, who is currently in a cell by himself, kind of leaning against one of the walls. All kinds of bruises and not so, or quite fresh wounds. The guard, or the individual who's been leading you here, kind of nods over to you, Maldorwen, and kind of points down the hallway to the actual, where the hallway ends. There's a small little doorway, and just nods over to that way, and looks back to both you and Rhukkarrak. Alright. You have a few minutes. I'll stay here. I'll make sure no one comes down the other side and give you warning if needs be. And with that, he kind of unlocks one of the two different cells. Then he gives you a nod. And then steps forward, but then looks back. And you try to escape with any of them, it won't go good. Continues where you guys came from.
Oh, are you ready for the Rhukkarrak?
I guess I have to be random guard.
Ah, right. Sorry.
He glances around. Does it seem like anyone else noticed?
Euan saying your name?
Yes. And how loudly did Euan say it?
Oh, it was very under his breath. No, very under the breath, barely above a whisper.
You can see that with what the other guard said, the Khazdurim are definitely intrigued, and some of them like get up from their bedrolls when I kind of walk over, just kind of curious. Rashtar kind of sits up a little straighter, but just kind of looks at you. You don't know if any of them overheard it. Like Euan said, he said it quite quietly. I'm not sure.
Okay, well then he's going to walk over to Rashtar and just start speaking in Dwarven. Because he doesn't know about this guard they can probably hear down the hallway.
Okay.
And he will just say, Rashtar Deepstone, I come because I suspect I know the true reason why you are here.
Okay, as Rashtar kind of meets your glance a little bit of curiosity in his eyes. Do you actually go into the cell with him? Or are you just standing outside?
The door's open, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, then he'll go in.
Okay. So as Rhukkarrak goes into the cell there, Maldorwen, what are you doing in this moment?
Okay, so the most important thing first is, are we wearing helmets, storm wardens?
Yes. You are kitted out
Okay.
with like the full plate of a storm warden.
Right.
Or at least
So
the
I want to take
illusory.
it off.
You're gonna take your helmet off?
Yes, the illusory one.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure. I guess, okay, yeah, we can say that works. Kind of will the illusory helmet to go off. Which is odd, too,
I
because...
try to take it off and it doesn't work.
just...
I fully expected him to just like reach up and it would just not do anything. But that was a pretty nice illusion, actually. If you can do that,
it's a pretty high spell. So you can kind of subtly... we'll say go ahead and roll a saving throw, actually, for me, if you really want to do this. Because you'll basically be saving against, like, if this spell was cast on you, didn't cast the spell. You're trying to see if you can influence the spell. Just go ahead and roll an intelligence saving throw for me. $11? Okay. Yeah, that doesn't succeed, unfortunately, in this scenario. And so, yeah, you try to take the helmet off, and your hand just kind of pass through it, and you feel the metal of your own helmet, and but you can't actually interact with the illusory piece of armament that is currently displayed on you.
Right, so he's gonna like sigh, and then you said there was a doorway where I was
Yes.
standing now, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
the
Is
other
there
guard
a
motioned
door?
towards the door. No, it's just a doorway.
Okay. All right, I guess I'm just gonna try and see as far as I can into the other side.
So you walk forward, and the doorway then turns into a tighter corridor to the right of you. It goes on for a good, like 100 feet or so. You're not quite sure. You kind of can see the end of that door or that hallway as well, but it's just faintly lit, like torchlight. Do you just stand guard at the doorway there, or would you like to continue to progress down this hallway?
I would like to do something first, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Fire play allows me to cause flames to flicker, brighten, dim, or change color for 1 minute.
Mhm.
Can I try and do that with the torch? Like, it has a 30 feet range. Yes. So I
Yeah.
guess I'll have to walk in a little bit. But yes, I'll try to make the torch as bright as I can to see, like, maybe that will help
Okay.
like-
Yeah.
in seeing what's, like, on the other end of the hallway.
Yeah. So as you kind of step forward and look inwards at the internal flame that you feel from Ignis area, not being connected to the fire element yourself, but knowing its power, you kind of ignite the torch a little bit as it sparks a little brighter, illuminates the hallway a bit more. It is completely barren up to where it looks like it then turns back towards the left again after about 150 feet.
Okay, so it turns left. Alright. So if I don't see anything else that, seems important, I'm just gonna keep watch. I think I'm gonna stay like pacing back and forth from where, like, the range of the spell was for the torch and where the doorway begins, or
Okay.
is, I guess. And yes, that's what I'm gonna do.
Alrighty. With that, Asja, just go ahead as you're watching outside currently. Just go ahead and give me a perception check.
Okay.
You see Kronk with another girl.
Oh no.
Asja suddenly gets taken over by her fiery side, and Elendor burns to the ground. There we go. Yep.
Rhukkarrak is snoozing.
16.
16. Okay. You manage to stay quite alert as you continue to peruse the streets near you. You don't see any other movement currently.
Mhm.
Yeah, just kind of sit there and wait for a moment. All right, we'll return back to Rhukkarrak as you confront Rashtar. He just kind of coughs up a bit. And then he's taken. You can tell that he's taken by surprise a bit from the Khazad-dûrk that you're speaking. And he just says back to you in Khazad-dûrk as well. What kind of trickery is this?
It is the very expensive kind to get in here and speak to you before they ship you away.
He just kind of takes a deep breath and... What do you want?
Were you here to investigate the... and he does not say the elven term for it. He specifically says in Khazad-dûrk, Celestial Walkway.
He just looks even more confused, like, what? I do not know what you are talking about.
Then why?
I already told everything I knew. Can I not just sleep in peace at least? Do I need that much suffering?
I do not intend to cause you suffering. In fact, do you have a plan once you get out of here?
What do you mean?
I mean, they plan to release you soon into the Harsh, and I was wondering if you have a plan to weather it.
I don't understand. Now you tell me false hopes? Why would we be released?
Why? Because the city would like to feign innocence in your death. Regardless,
Who are you?
I am a interested party in finding more about the celestial path.
God, he said, I do not know what this is.
Then this was probably much of a waste. Do you know much about the Shadow Suns?
More just confusion. No. What is that?
He will again draw the symbol on the ground.
How do you draw the symbol?
He'll...
The ground is like made of stone.
Can he not find grime or soot or
Not
anything around?
really. I mean,
Darn these clean people.
there might be some like, yeah, nothing you'd want to use. Get really nasty.
He will turn to Euan. Be like, this one here is the one that saved your life. And he tells me that the symbol of the Shadow Suns was found on the tent that exploded.
He just kind of looks towards Euan. I still don't understand.
It is an illusion. as he assumes that the not understanding is Euan being there.
I'll just say both Euan and Rhukkarrak, just go ahead and give me insight
Yeah.
so far with the conversation. And going.
18 for Euan.
18's pretty good.
And a 19 for
19 for
Rhukkarrak.
Rhukkarrak. Wow, look at that luck. It's turning around.
Oh my god.
No, don't say it. I'm just waiting for it to crash. No. I know it's gonna happen.
Right. You can definitely see that Rashtar is very confused. Like, what are these guys doing? Why are they here? He doesn't... You definitely can tell that he doesn't make the connection. You two are the same people who were on the beach. And he definitely seems a bit more guarded with what he has been saying.
Right now, Euan can't understand anything that's going on, so he's just kind of trying to keep his...
Rhukkarrak will switch.
Yeah.
Rhukkarrak will switch to common. And do you know of any way to convince him that you are the one that saved his life on the shores earlier?
I don't really know. I know I've got quite a distinctive voice. I don't know if that would help at all. Apart from, I'm glad to see that I haven't killed him.
As Euan is talking, Ruka is curious about the expressions on the rest of the Kazdurim who have been listening to this conversation and see if there is anything of recognition or fear or anything out of the ordinary based on what he said so far.
Okay. You can see that most of them are just like staying back as far back as they can in the cell, not wanting to really be involved, but there are a few that are a little more curious about what is happening, and you see that there's a couple that have gone closer towards the bars themselves, not like pressed up against the bars. They're just kind of listening in to your conversation, just a little wide-eyed and a little curious.
Okay. Then he will turn back to Rashtar. He'll switch back to Kezdurek because he wants to talk about social paths again. If you are truly seeking the celestial path, then I could be an ally to you that can walk among the elves much more easily. Which is the entire purpose of us meeting here.
You can see he just kind of stays quiet for a moment, just like, what? Basically, kind of just a lot of confusion and a little bit of distrust kind of in his eyes with that high insight roll.
Would I be able to glean from just watching this conversation that he's just not grasping at whatever Rook is saying?
More or less. You can tell, like, not being able to understand what they're saying a lot is a little harder, but insight isn't really about that as much as it is just, like, body language and whatnot. You can tell that he's been through the shitter the last few days. He's exhausted and confused and just not quite sure what's all that is happening currently.
All right, understood. Thank you.
Why
Okay.
do you say that we are being released?
Because that is what a informant inside of the Storm Wardens told us. he's gonna switch back to common. He'll speak a little bit quieter, so it doesn't echo down the hallways. But he'll switch back to common.
Okay. Rhukkarrak, just go ahead and roll persuasion check too throughout this conversation. And while Rhukkarrak is doing that, Maldorwen, if you want to just roll perception.
Yep, there it is.
There it is.
Oh no! Oh no!
Y'all were talking about how my curse was lifted, and
I was not. I was
You rolled,
fully
like,
expecting it to
3
drop.
really good rolls in a row. Rolls in a
I'm sorry, I totally blanked because of that. You want me to roll what?
Perception.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, that's funny. 25 perception, very nice.
Wow.
So, Maldorwen, you maintain your like watchful vigil here, kind of making sure that you kind of overhear a little bit of what's going on, but very, very briefly from your position, because they're not talking super loudly either. Do you investigate at all down the hallway, or do you just stay where you are currently?
Yeah, like, it's taking a while, so I'm gonna go take a look.
Okay. So as you arrive at the end of the hall, you kind of look towards the other turn, and it then leads into a little bit of a room here. There is like a circular room at the end here. There's then a door, or at least what looks to be a door. It's like solid stone, though, that is kind of in the shape of a doorway. But nothing else in here currently.
Interesting. Okay.
With a 25 perception too, I'd say you can see on the, as the hallway turns into the circular room, the entranceway there is like grooves in the walls and the floor.
Do they point somewhere in particular?
No, almost as if something could like slide.
Okay.
And yeah.
Oh, I'm
Secret
super strong. I can move this thing. I'm like 40 pounds of pure muscle, so...
But yeah, from what you can see, it doesn't look like there's any sort of devices or thing that allows this to move at all on its own. Not quite sure, but there are a bit of arcane runes kind of inscribed into the floor.
Okay. Can I investigate those?
Yeah, go ahead and roll a Arcana check for me.
Alright, can I guide myself?
How do you do so?
Okay, so... This time, since it's dark, I'm gonna try and call out to Lunar and help me see through darkness. Okay. Ooh, wow.
Oh my!
No!
Nat 20.
Okay.
Alright, yeah. This runes here, they deal with controlling water. I'm like creating and destroying water.
Oh my god. Okay. Ooh. I actually know that spell.
Oh yeah, then yeah, you're very familiar with like, oh yeah, that's here. It's a little bit more different than maybe how you would cast it. But yeah, it is basically of that. With the natural 20, I'd say with everything in this room, you can almost picture that end of that little like stone doorway that could potentially open and lead to like a canal. And water would then flood in. This is like a almost airlock, if you would. Where it could then
Yes.
close, the water would then be removed, and then the other doorway would open.
All right. So, knowing what that is and, seeing it's a dead end, I'm actually gonna head back and kinda get closer to the cells. Like, I don't want to get too close, but I do want to try and hear more of what's happening from now on, if that's okay.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. You're not too far
Alright.
away, and yeah, I'd say that's easy enough to do. Just standing kind of right at the doorway that leads to the first hallway. All right, we'll transition back over to Rhukkarrak here. Yeah, Rashtar just kind of remains seated, kind of slumped against the wall, and just kind of shakes his head a bit. And you can just sense the distrust and just anger starting to rise in this point.
Listen,
maybe we'll-
Rhukka,
I've told you what I know. Stop bothering us. Either kill us, or I don't know.
He just kind of shakes his head, puts a hand or a palm on his forehead.
And was that
Um,
in common or Kazdurek?
That was common.
What were you going to say, Maldorwen?
Rhukka
okay.
is just going to look at Euan and just kind of shrug and never been very good at convincing people. And he'll just kind of like
Because-
step back for Euan.
If you let me go ahead, what I actually wanted to do was, like, my holy symbol is my helmet, and it's kind of hidden under or the illusion, I guess. And
Mhm.
Channel Divinity doesn't need, like, verbal components or anything. So, like,
Right.
if I am coming back and, like, I hear that, I think I would like to try and help and, like, really show goodwill. Knowing Rashtar is really hard. Try and heal him up with Divine Spark.
Okay. Yeah, I'll allow that. A cool use
Okay.
for that. So go ahead and roll that. And
Okay, it's 1d8.
plus
healing.
your Wiz mod, right?
Uh,
Or is it just one?
yes, you're right. Yes, you're right. 1d8 plus my Wisdom modifier, which is 4. So,
Total of 8 hit points. Okay.
yes, 8 hit points.
So how
Or
does
damage, as Asja would say.
that? How does that look in this moment? Like, how does Maldorwen reach out to heal Rashtar?
Okay, so there are torches, right?
Hmm.
So, like, as the moment hits up and Rashtar is angry and, letting his emotions out, like he's a Kazurim, and they are fire lined, right?
No, because Durham are water and earth.
Oh, okay. Then just like, I think it would look then as if like the Storm Wardens were making the light more intense,
Okay.
in a way, and like the light speaks for a second, I guess, and like Rashtar can see in the light that his wounds are healing a little bit, and I'll say in common, like as I lean against the pillar or whatever nearby, I'll say, "Sorry for what happened to you. Alamor's still watching over." And that's it.
Okay. So as Rashtar, who was starting to get a little frustrated in this moment, that wave of healing energy kind of washes over him. He then exhales, almost like caught out of breath for a moment, and then inhales a deep breath. And then just looks a lot calmer as he kind of pads one of his eyes that was completely like bruised and blackened, is now fully recovered. He looks back to the group here.
I know that it's hard to believe. But we are here trying to help as best we can.
You... And kind of continues to look at Euan, who's just speaking.
You were the one from the beach. You were trying to stop us from fighting. I can still feel that the moment of electrifying energy was meant for me. Yet it did not find me.
Our people might have had a run-in in the past, but that doesn't mean that people don't deserve second chances.
Alright, Euan, go ahead and roll a persuasion check with advantage because of the assistance from Maldorwen. Oh, thank goodness for that advantage. Alright.
Yeah.
22. Very nice. Alright, with that, Rashtar, feeling quite a bit better. Steps up, kind of stretches a little bit. Then kind of walks towards you guys a bit.
You are not with the wardens.
We are not.
What are you doing here? You come to help?
We've come to talk. And I don't know what my compatriot here has already said, as I cannot speak your language. But I can assure you that he also comes here with peace in mind.
The wardens have been trying to get information that doesn't really exist, as I do not know what they want. Something to do with this walkway that you speak of.
Looking back towards Rhukkarrak.
What is this? Why do they care so much?
We don't know ourselves. That was the first time that we have ever heard of it. We're trying to put the pieces together as well.
They are
We thought maybe
convinced
that
that
you would
we are
have more
linked to
information.
it. Why?
We found a book that made mention of it in the tent that exploded while we were out there, that caused the entire thing to happen.
Let's see. That makes a lot more sense. Look, we came here, at least most of us,
Kind of looks past you guys to the other Khazad,
as mere traitors. That is true. However, there was one that orchestrated the mission. Someone who was quite secretive in their true intentions. We didn't know much. Only that they... some sort of mage of high power. They believed that something here tied to the ancient magics. I don't know much more than that, though.
Can you give us a name?
He didn't. He just went by the seer.
Interesting.
I don't know what this all is. wish none of us stepped foot outside of our homeland and came here. We thought that just maybe it had been long enough. But seems some wounds do not heal so quickly for the elves.
I am sorry that I was not able to help you at the beach, and that so many innocent lives were lost because we were not able to defuse the ticking time bomb. Well, both figuratively and apparently literally.
It is done. We knew somewhat of the risk coming here. I have forgotten the rage of the elves. And how
Too
their
bad they
emotions
didn't
control
forget their
them
rage
so
too.
much.
And I'm assuming that this seer disappeared as soon as the storm wardens appeared.
Aye. They vanished. We're not. At least they're not among us. That's for sure. They were nowhere to be seen in that day.
Were they also Khazdarim?
Yes. They had some sort of tome. Spoke of ancient parasites. Strongly believe that there was one here. But yet again, I wasn't involved with that much. I barely knew anything of it.
Well, there's not much we can do for you, but we can assure you that the information about you being released is come from a very reliable source. I assume that you will be heading for the Pyroclast Isles, or I don't think you'll be able to make it home before the
No.
Arch.
It is Embervelizoti nearby. We do have connections with some in the Isles. If this is true, then I look forward to it. But I don't. The last couple of days, I find it hard to believe.
I feel really bad about this, but I'm afraid that you may fall under suspicion if you suddenly look a lot healthier. Do you mind if I punch you in the eye again?
Euan face palms.
I'd prefer you didn't.
I would prefer I didn't either, but the Storm Wardens may find it suspicious.
Let it be, Rhukkarrak.
Aye, let it be. They've suffered enough.
Fine. I was just afraid that they would have more questions and want to keep them longer. But anyway,
Asja, around this time you do notice that there are a platoon of what appears to be 4 Khazdarim. Or not Khazdarim. Storm Wardens. Heading towards
Alright.
the Bastion. Probably a minute or two away from where you currently are.
I think we have one last question as he looks at Euan meaningfully.
Aye. One question of personal interest, if you don't mind. I know it's been some time, but in the attack on Mithrandel, did the Kastorum take any prisoners?
I'm not sure. It was a long time ago. I was but a wee cadet. They did. It wasn't public knowledge, at least.
Very well, thank you. Good luck to all of you.
Just kind of gives a nod, takes a deep breath in, sits back down.
But what you say is true.
Well, you will find out soon enough. I hope our source is true and that they did not change their mind.
He just kind of remains quiet.
Rhukkarrak will start walking out of the cell.
You'll tend to walk out of the cell as well, and just nod to Maldorwen and say thank you for what you did for him.
Maldorwen will nod and start walking. And I have 2 questions. So
Okay.
the first one, I want to try something a bit reckless, but I don't
Okay.
know if you guys are okay with that.
All
Did
right.
he say that too?
No, that's me asking you guys.
Define reckless.
I just want to try and find out the name of this guy that's with us. I don't know if that would be useful. What do you think?
I don't know that it matters too much who it is. I think it just matters that we get out of here safely.
Okay.
I did check, and he does not seem to be under any kind of illusion. So it would seem that he is actually a Storm Warden or something like. So I don't think it matters that much.
Okay. Then let's just go ahead.
Right. Asja, what are you doing? These wardens are getting closer and closer. And some of them, now that they are closer, look vaguely familiar to some of the other disguises that your party members are wearing.
Poops. All right. Quick survey. Does she look? Oh, I guess she doesn't know what she looks like. Never mind. She is going to, I guess, make it look like she's scratching her head. And she's gonna kind of try and cradle Rupert. You remember where they said they were going, right? Now is time for little lizard to shine. Let's prove ourselves. And she's going to put him on the ground and go find them and do the dance of we're in danger. Go,
He kind of
go.
looks towards the doors, like, didn't they go in there?
Is
Then
there
he walks up and
no
tries
other,
to push the doors himself, like.
There's no other. Okay, there's no other guards at the door or anything like that, correct?
Not currently, no.
It's just her.
Right.
All right. she is going to make it kind of look like she's maybe, I don't know, heard something or whatever, and kind of push the door open and take a step in to make it look like almost she heard somebody calling their name or something like that, as if she's, reaching to, like, listen, and let Rupert in that way.
Okay. Rupert darts in from the little crack of the doors, runs across. Just go ahead and roll a stealth check for Rupert.
Is Rupert's stealth the same as my stealth? Like, wait, I don't think I have a character sheet for Rupert. That's the problem.
You should. Let me.
Is he somewhere on here? Let me just. Sorry.
Could be.
It would be an extras if it's on your sheet.
Oh, there's Rupert. Okay, I've got AC and hit points. There we
If
go.
you click on it, it should bring up a sidebar with all of his stuff.
I've got it.
Okay.
All right. It's only got the B to roll next, so it's not going to show up on the screen, possibly.
You might want to just roll it manually then from D&D Beyond. It's just going to be +4. So if you just roll a D20 +4.
Stealth is +6.
Oh, +8 actually. Stealth is
+8.
right, yeah.
Holy cow, that's a sneaky lizard.
Oh, he's a better rogue than you.
15 +8.
Ruppert's not a very good rogue.
Okay, yeah, Rupert stays low to the ground. None the wiser as the desk clerk kind of just sits there, doesn't notice. Rupert runs over to the platforms and just looks around like, I don't know. Just kind of sits there. Starts like looking around. Go ahead and just roll an intelligence check for Rupert now.
Okay. That's a +2. All right.
Goes up to the desk of the guy, licks his coffee.
18.
18, okay.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Rupert's got the rolls.
I heard that they were going underground. He starts looking, like, hops on the platform, like, starts to try to dig into it. And, yeah, he can't really get down there by himself. They're just kind of running around trying to find something, but he's there at least. Alright, what are the rest of you doing?
But if they call the elevator, he'll go down with it, and hopefully, they'll be like, "Why is there a blue?" Never mind, go the other way. All right, there we go. Perfect. All right, it might still work. All right, sorry.
We're listening to the elevator music, I guess. Yeah.
Alright, so you just start walking back towards the other warden?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, he walks, seeing that you guys are done, more or less. He starts walking towards you quite quickly. We done here?
Yes.
Gives you a nod, and then goes and relocks the doors. The Esdorm cells. Alright, follow me. Hopefully we can get out of here before there's a turn. Starts heading back towards the elevator. He then, once again, places his hand on, like, the wall. Says some more arcane words. Well,
this time Ruka's going to try and pay attention to what he's saying.
Okay, go ahead and roll a perception check for me. Nine.
Can I guide him with a slap in the butt?
Yeah, I don't think that would guide Rhukkarrak, just because he doesn't like being touched.
Yeah, that would more distract.
Distract him, make him roll disadvantage, or take a d4.
It's fine, he's an
Well,
illusory
it's
butt
more like
slap, okay?
Maldorwen would have to take a
Illusory butt
d4 of
slap.
damage, because he would then have a knife in his hand.
Alright, we'll say that you kind of get what he says under his breath, but you think that you could potentially try it at a future date, but it would be a challenge if you could say everything correctly. Right, a moment later,
Awesome.
The elevator descends. Rupert is sitting there dancing, just up and down, tail wagging like crazy, like as the guard here's like, "What's up? What?"
That's Rupert. The other guards must be on their way.
We'll return
Usually
back
hungry.
to Asja now, as the other ones are like approaching. They will be here in seconds. You have like one more action if you want to do something.
Why didn't Aeon give us a scroll of fireball?
Fireball.
All right.
I'd say.
Sorry, I'm reading.
from-
I'm reading a.
You're pretty confident that you probably look like one of these people.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask, was because I'm reading a spell really quickly and then was going to ask for a rule call. Okay. Can she, like, okay, can you illusion over an illusion?
Potentially, yeah.
All right. As she sees them coming, she is going to move towards opening the door for them, but at the same time, she would like to cast Minor Illusion on just her face to look like
Okay.
her best friend back in Kurasada, the warrior. I don't have time to look at my
All right.
notes. The one
No.
with the scars and stuff like that.
And that works. Okay.
Yeah. And she will open the door for them, and it will be a Storm Warden opening the door, but it will have a different face.
Okay. So,
I hope.
in this instance, as you go to open the door for them, the one kind of taking lead kind of looks to you and just says, "What are you doing?"
Oh, I was going to go in, but I saw you were coming, so I thought I'd open door for you as well.
All right, go ahead and either roll a persuasion or deception. Up to you.
Yeah, let me see which one's better. Oh god, they're both the same. Oh. Should do. It would be persuasion. She wouldn't try and be oh, she's trying to be. Oh god, I hate you.
Just
I
roll
hate
the
my
d20.
dice right now because
That's a
I know I'm
really
doing it.
better.
17.
It just kind of looks a little confused. All right, after you.
Thank you.
All right, as you
Does
guys
she-
head in.
Takes a step in and
The rest of you are now looking at Rupert as the other guard. Does it mean we need to go the other way? Yeah, probably.
Yes. Let's go
Alright.
quickly.
As Rupert kind of runs up and just climbs up Euan. As you guys then start moving. Quickly. You don't know how long we have. As we start to not run, but swiftly move down the hallway back towards the other exit. You then turn that corner, go down the hallway, and into this circular chamber where you all sit there for a moment. Alright. Hold your breath. As he then, yet again, presses his hand towards the wall where there is a small glyph that alights as he does so, and says another keyword, his breath, before...
Because you're going to try and hear in that too.
Alright, go ahead and roll perception again.
Come on! No. Oh, yes!
Oh,
Dirty 20.
dirty 20, okay. Yeah, you're very confident that
Much
you
better.
could reiterate this. In this moment, too, this individual is not caring as much about the secrecy in this instance, just to try to get out as quickly as possible. So, you feel pretty confident that you could re-say that keyword. With that, though, the hallway that you just came from, there's a little door frame. That door frame completely encloses as the stone latches up above it. Then across that, the stone descends as a deluge of water starts to flow in, as you then just see blackness beyond it. Alright, this is our way out. As he kind of dives into the water as it's filling up this chamber.
Okay,
As
well, Rook will
Euan's
follow.
socks become very wet.
Need those sea silk socks.
There is just a deep, rumbling growl that emanates from Euan the second the water touches his socks. That sounds just so angry and sad at the same time.
Alright.
The
With
whimper
that.
of a dragon. Oh.
Wait, what?
The whimper of a dragon?
Yes. Alright. So you all follow suit and dive out into the pretty cold water of the canal. Asja, we come back to you as you are now walking a little bit ahead of these other wardens who look to be going about their business. What are you doing in this instance?
Asja is going to head. How many flights of stairs was it up to Gronk's office?
Gronk's office? That would, it's on the 3rd floor, so a decent amount.
Okay. She's going to head towards the staircase and I guess start going up the stairs, and if anybody questions, she's just going to... I'm here to deliver a message to one of the offices on the 3rd floor. And basically continue up.
Yeah, as you do
And then
start
when
to head up the stairs, the, yet again, like, person in charge calls out, "Wait, it's not a shift change yet, what are you doing?"
I have been given the task to deliver a message to one of the inspector's offices. Information that is very important.
Now roll a deception for me.
Yeah, I know. Oh, God. Everyone pray to whatever deity you do or don't believe in. That's a 7.
They kind of take a step closer. Don't recognize your face. Who are you? At that, to the other wardens behind, kind of like step into like ready, like it's about to go down. What are you doing?
Okay, with her knowledge of the storm wardens that they have collected, is this the only warden area? But there are wardens in like Valtari, are there not?
You don't know. You don't. Yeah, you haven't heard.
Okay. All right, she's gonna try and double down. As I said, I'm here to deliver a message. It is for none of your ears.
To what officer?
Do the offices have numbers or anything like that?
We'll say yes, but I'm not sure that Asja would really know. We'll say, go ahead and just roll, say history check, just to, if you had managed to recall what office number.
15.
Okay, you can vaguely, like, this might be the right number, this might not be. It would be a gamble. Like, if it is the number, it would give you a lot of credibility. Or if it's not the right number, then it would completely derail.
Yep, sorry. The number is?
Let's say, I don't know, 12?
Okay.
Is that really important?
I'm here to go to, I was told to drop the message at Office 12 for Investigator Gronk.
Alright. We're gonna roll one more time. We're just gonna do a 50-50. As long as you get above 10, We'll say
Persuasion
Works.
or deception? It doesn't matter which one.
it's gonna be deception. But yeah.
24!
Oh!
Okay. He looks a little confused. Oh, quickly. And then goes back and kind of at ease as they all then start to go about their business.
Ding, 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 ding,
The audible release of breath that I just had. Thank goodness.
ding. The audible release you had.
I was like, just get out and just run away, and then I don't know. But then like the illusion, we didn't cast the illusion. We can't make sure that they go away at an opportune time. Ugh.
So she will continue up to the 3rd floor and make it look like she is delivering a message, and then come back down and retake her position at the front door.
Okay. And so with
Shaking. Inside the illusion, there is a tiny elf shaking.
with all that success, we'll say that nothing else goes awry. Even though you get a couple strange eyes from some of the other people. But they don't ask any other questions. Alright, as you exit back out, and we'll head back over to the other group. As you all are in the canal, your guide here kind of leads you to a spot where you're able to exit the canal without being super obvious of where you came from. You're just pretty close to the Tempest Bastion still, but not like right next to it either. Kind of looks at you all. Well, I was hoping we didn't have to go that way. It might set off certain alarms. But that's something that I'm gonna have to deal with. You all should be good. Hopefully you got what you need.
Thank you for your help.
Just kind of gives a nod. Well, I better get back.
Is the illusion still on us, or does he let the illusion drop from us?
Currently, the illusion is on you still.
Are we not going to go pick up Asja?
Yes, we are.
I can always tell her that you made it out.
I guess that would work. We'll just keep our distance then. Keep an eye out for her.
Very well.
Yeah, and then starts marching towards the Tempest Bastion again. You can see there's a little more magic to dry himself off. A little prestidigitation or whatnot.
He couldn't do that for my socks.
Didn't ask. Yeah. Where are you all going? You all still look like Storm Wardens. Maldorwen a little shorter, but yeah.
What? That's funny. Maldorwen is gonna say, I need to write some letter, so I'm heading back to the Tide chapter. I will see you there, I guess.
We'll see you there when I get back.
All right. And he's gonna head off.
Rhukka would like to kind of call out to the guard a little bit and just quickly walk up to him. How long is this going to be on us?
Oh, the illusion. I believe it's an hour, so it shouldn't be much longer.
Oh, good. Thank you. And he'll...
If you'd like, I can
Go back to the
remove it.
I would appreciate that.
Back out here yet. I don't know if we should.
Can you break them separately?
I don't believe so. I'll go get
Then
your
never
friend,
mind.
tell them to meet you, and then I'll drop it.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Hearing that, Euan is just going to kind of slink back into an alleyway, if there is one, into the shadows, where he won't be seen.
Okay.
Rhukka will join him.
You guys will probably have to... If you want to get to like an alleyway, head like across another canal outside of the Glassglade, because you're still in the Glassglade district, and there's not a whole lot of alleyways in the Glassglade.
Yeah. We should probably keep up the guys a little bit before we can get out of sight. Because we're in the canal right now, right? Or are we just come out of it?
Yeah, you're out of the canal currently.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're like dripping, but you're not dripping because the illusion is like dry.
Yes, we should probably march together until we find a place out of sight.
Agreed. Let's go.
Okay. Let me just have the three of you roll a perception check for me.
17.
Me as well?
Yes.
Okay.
19?
Your luck has turned around. It was just that one roll. Probably the most important rolls, but 24. Okay, yeah, 24 will do it. Maldorwen, as you're heading back, you kind of just look towards the sky for a moment, seeing the conflict and whatnot, what it can tell you. You do notice that there is a small, like, on one of the rooftops, there was a figure that was probably watching, but then disappears. Alright, with that, this unknown warden greets you, Asja, and it just kind of gives you a nod. Everybody is clear.
Okay. There was a little bit of problem.
Oh,
I had to make a little distraction. So as far as storm wardens who came back that you made us look like, well, now you see my face look a little different, but also at the same time they thought that somebody had dropped a message off for Inspector Grunk, only name I know in there aside from Caloris. So I had to make it look like I was dropping off a message there and then coming back down. They did believe me. At first they did not, but then they did.
this is good shitstorm. Well,
But
hopefully it was worth it.
I will make it worth it. How about that? I am assuming you do actually work in there, correct?
I don't know. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Your allies are waiting for you.
I am sorry about shitstorm. Ugh, I just hope Grunk still wants to see me when I get back from here. Bye! She walks away.
Alright. With that, I'll say you guys can easily meet back up with each other. And you all are pretty exhausted at this point. It's been a long day. You return to the Tide chapter, or what else are you doing for the night?
Rhukka would like to get his stuff back. Potentially, possibly, hopefully,
Okay.
before they have to leave early in the morning.
Go ahead and just roll a Constitution saving throw for me then.
Oh, bother.
Oh no!
A second natural one for today.
Here.
Oh my
Go ahead and roll it
goodness.
with advantage because you did get like a 2 or 3 hour nap. So you weren't awake the entire time.
Okay, true.
Oh no! Alright, yeah, you do have 1 point of exhaustion.
Oh my god.
Excellent, excellent. So my search is going to be at disadvantage. Good to know. Oh wait, that's not how that works anymore, is it? Yeah, we're using the new system.
Right. So, yeah.
Was it at level 1?
I think it is. I think it's still relative.
-2 to D20 tests.
Right.
So I'm a little bit slower and -2 to my tests. Okay. It's not great, but it's not terrible.
Yep. All right. So,
Okay.
Rhukkarrak, you're heading outside the city?
He's going to turn to Euan. Like, I would like to go try and get my stuff before we have to leave in the morning. Just so you all know where I'm at.
Would it be better to try to find it after we leave?
What do you mean by after we leave? We're leaving at the completely opposite side of the city.
Ah. I didn't realize you lost it on the other side.
Yes.
Best of luck.
Yes,
Don't
probably
die
not.
out there,
Anyway,
please.
I don't plan on it. Yeah. He is going to take. It's midnight, right?
It's a little after midnight. This whole
Yeah, a little after
ordeal
midnight.
took a while.
Okay, then he is going to. Yeah. Yep. He's gonna head out.
All right. We'll come to that in a moment here. Asja, Euan, Maldorwen, anything else you guys want to do before the night ends?
Asja will, I guess, go back to the. Why can I never remember the name? The Wind.
Tide chapter?
The Wind Tide chapter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, the Tide chapter. The Tide chapter, and then before returning to their barracks room, I guess she's gonna go kind of peek at Dagon's office and see if there's a light still kind of cracked under the door or not.
Currently not.
And if there
It is
currently no?
middle of
Okay.
the night, no.
Then I guess she will just head back to the room. But if Maldorwen is in there, she'll be like, if I pack and go to sleep, will that disturb your writing? Because they all share a room, if I remember correctly.
No,
so.
not at all. I was gonna ask you, did you see the others?
Oh, yes, they're just over in the main hallway. They are here.
Oh, I see.
Yes. Had a
Yes,
little
they're-
bit of a moment. I'm glad Rupert found you all.
Yes, he sure did. I just need to pen some stuff down for the captain before we leave. My stuff is already packed. It's not a lot of things, so
I do not have many things. These are all my things, actually. Pretty much. But I want to see how my snack supply is before we take off. I mean, I might need to resupply in the morning while you all go and get your fancy new armor. I am looking forward to seeing that. But I might have to get some snacks while you are all doing that. Much more important to me is food. She smiles.
I know it's gonna be a long journey, so you better pack a lot of snacks. I think it's smart to do so. And
Well,
Juan
what
looks
if
like
we run
he
out
can
of
carry a
food?
lot of them.
I mean,
We will
what if we
probably
cannot
be
trust
able to
Euan?
hunt.
I mean, I know you eat a little, but still, what if we don't trust Euan to pack enough food for us? What if we run out of food halfway there? What if we can't hunt anything because it's too hot? We have to have snacks. We cannot run out of food. Food is very important. The panic on her face as she talks about this, it almost seems like she's trying to be comical, but you can kind of see that there is an actual fear to her running out of food. There is something actually behind these comments. You can kind of catch a glimpse of that.
Well, I can promise you this. I will do my best, and I never had a problem feeding myself or my family, for that matter, so it will be fine, Asja. As
Okay.
it will be fine for you to pack. Perhaps there's some stuff here that, they don't need. There is a lot of empty beds. So if they bought a lot of food, they may have a lot to spare. We can ask
Oh.
Dagan or the captain if we could take some of it if they have. I haven't seen their kitchen.
Oh, I have. It is a very nice kitchen, but not very used. Which reminds me, I should probably in the morning put the stew on, so at least they have something. I know that they will have something to eat for the next couple of days, because Captain and Dagan, they are very nice people, but they work too hard. They don't take care of themselves as well as they should. Dagan more than the captain. Anyways. We will check in the morning. Thank you, Maldorwen. I should probably get some sleep. The adrenaline of talking down storm wardens is starting to wear off, and she stretches with a big yawn. I'm kind of sleepy now. She, again, takes her bedroll off the bed where she puts it in the morning and puts it on the hard floor and crawls into it. Good night, Maldorwen. Sleep well when you get there.
Good night.
And within seconds, you can hear her breathing go to just rhythmic. She's fast asleep.
Alrighty. With that, Euan, anything in particular you were doing?
I think for a split moment, he thinks I should hit the baths one more time. But he's also very tired. And even though trying to walk without his limp has kind of taken its toll and he's definitely hurting again, I think he's just going to take the opportunity to go to bed.
Okay. With that, as Maldorwen writes some sort of note, we'll get to that in a moment. Rhukkarrak, you start to step out towards the gates, where yet again there are 2 wardens currently standing guard. You just continue forward?
Yep. He's on a mission.
Alright, as you start to step forward, one of them, what the? What? It's the middle of the night, what are you doing?
I lost some stuff out in the desert and we have to leave very early in the morning to go on an expedition. I would like to look for it before we leave.
So you're going out and coming back in with stuff.
Yes, my stuff.
Go ahead and just roll a persuasion.
All these dice rolls. Alright, it's 15.
-2, so 13. You are
Right, -2. Darn it. Okay.
It's still not bad.
All right,
No, it's not.
we'll check you quite thoroughly on your way back.
The last time I went out of the city, I was given a token of some kind to make sure that you know it was me coming back. Is that still a thing, or?
Kind of motions towards the other warden, who just is kind of half listening. hands you one of these tokens, a little piece of paper, basically.
Thank you. And he will walk out.
Okay. Walk out. Now go ahead and roll a survival check for me. It is the middle of the night. I'm not gonna give you disadvantage. The DC is just gonna be pretty high.
That's a 13. 15 minus 2.
All right. How long are you willing to spend checking?
Maybe an hour.
Okay. Yeah, with
an hour.
You do not find it within an hour.
He is going to
As you're looking,
frustrated.
everything just looks the same out here. Like there's these bushes, there's like aloe vera plants, there's very sparse trees. But yeah, nothing, just a lot of sand and whatnot. Not a whole lot of like, landmarks to kind of orient yourself off other than Elendor. You have no idea where you placed your stuff.
Darn it. This is going to be really annoying. Maybe there's know that there are spells. Maybe I'll have to come back later. Such a waste of time. Whatever. And he'll head back.
Alright. Head back in. Storm Wardens accept the token, kind of pat you down. Didn't find it, hey?
No. The desert all looks the same, especially at night.
That it does. Oh, maybe you can find it in the morning when there's actually Alamore watching you. Who knows?
Probably not. I don't think I have time in the morning. But thank you for the sentiment. And he's going to walk back to the place and probably sleep the rest of the night.
Alright. With that then, Maldorwen, anything of note with what you are writing currently? So, quick, what is the... I can't remember the word. But Maldorwen, you did receive the note back from Kertas during the downtime. And not last session, but the session before. So I'm assuming that's what you're trying to respond to now?
No.
Okay.
I'm writing a letter for Shadowthorn.
Okay.
And I'm basically writing down everything that I heard from Rashtar when he was talking towards the end.
Okay.
And with that letter, I'm gonna write a letter to the captain that's gonna be like in the same envelope, and I'm gonna tell the captain to give that letter to the Veiled Alchemist. That's the name, right? The Veiled Alchemist?
Yep.
Okay, yes, that's the plan. And the letter that I'm gonna write for Shadowthorn, it's gonna be in Gnomish, and the letter for the captain is just gonna be in Common.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. Easy enough to do. It takes you a little bit to get everything down on paper, but not difficult. Eventually, you finish everything up that you wanted to write. Then you head off to bed.
Yeah, he's quite good at writing. He's fast and precise. And yes, like the letter for the captain is obviously gonna have some more sentimental stuff about how he's gonna miss her, and he'll write back whenever he can. And yeah, like I think I will try and make it like so the message is a bit in between the lines as well for the captain, like the part that is about delivering the other letter, at least, if that's possible.
Yeah, just go ahead and you have calligraphy tools, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just go ahead and roll those with intelligence.
Okay, so it's gonna be whatever I roll plus 3, because I have proficiency, which is plus 2, and then plus 1 from my intelligence.
17.
Okay, 17.
Very nice. Okay. Yeah, you subtly hint to it here and there, but it's not obvious. But you feel that the captain will pick up on the clues you're hinting.
All right, perfect. And yes, after that, I'm just gonna go to bed.
Okay. So as the motley hue finds themselves resting for the night, the morrow bringing some sort of venture, they are gonna hopefully leave the city. We'll see. And we're gonna take a quick intermission as the motley hue wakes up on this fateful day. What did you all do? Where do you go? It is not as early as you might want it to be, because you didn't fall asleep till very, very early in the morning itself. You probably don't have much time before Aeon's deadline is due.
Euan will get up out of bed slowly, sort of half groan, half growl, half whimper in pain as he stands up. And reach for his halberd so that way he can use it to bear down on. And if other people are awake, he'll just very casually say, "I'm headed over to the forge to collect my things. I'm probably going to be a while, so I'll catch up with all of you. Or if anybody wants to come along, that's also fine, but I'm hurting today."
Rhukkarrak will just turn in his cot or whatever kind of bed we have there. Ugh, I was trying to get some sleep, but I was up most of the night. I need to go with you. I wasn't able to find my stuff. If I could get at least a couple of dagger and a short sword, would be good.
Anyone else?
Yes, I'm tagging along as well. I need to pick up my armor.
I will walk with you, but I should probably tell my boss that I will not be at work for the next couple of seasons, at least. And grab some snacks, and then I will come back here afterwards.
Oh, I should probably also get some extra changes of clothes. Ugh, this is going to be a day.
Your bows look lovely. I don't know what you don't stick with it.
Well, Asja did do a very nice job, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to want to be able to change into other clothes while these ones are drying on the line or whatever. Anyway.
She also has a very pretty dress that you could borrow from her, you know?
Euan, like, full giggle snorts, and a little smoke ring comes out of his nose.
I don't think that would be very functional.
Alright, as you all start to walk out, Dagon and the captain are there in like the main hall. So I heard that you all are leaving. Just wanted to wish you farewell. Thank you for what you've done here. If you ever find yourself back in Elendor, we definitely could use the help, as you can see. And you always have a home here.
That's appreciated, Dagon.
And gives a nod.
Yes, thank you. We do plan on coming back after the harsh.
Well, safe travels and don't get eaten by wyverns.
I'm more afraid of the bullets.
Captain just kind of nods like, yeah, those are pretty rude too. Alright, with that, you all head on out of...
Sorry.
Go ahead.
As the rest of the party kind of takes us over. I'll catch up in 1 second. She's just gonna go to Dagon. I'll take it back now.
Oh, right. Maybe.
You proved to me yesterday that you're going to trust me. I will trust you.
Gives a nod. Walks over to desk, grabs out another Downward Sentinel's pendant, hands it back to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have second home now. Interesting. And she's gonna catch up with the other ones.
Alright. As you all step out into the heart of Elendor, or not the heart, but the busy morning here, right outside the Tide Chapter's hall, there is someone also waiting for you. Someone you don't recognize, but they're kind of sprying their step as you do reach the doorway there. Oh, hello there. I was sent here to give you all information that you were to meet down at the docks right as soon as you were awake, as by Aeon's request. I will chauffeur you to where you need to go.
We do have a couple of stops to make along the way. I'm sure you understand.
Alright.
Gearing up and all.
As long as it doesn't take too long, it's hard to get a bit past the deadline, but that's fine, I think. He looks a little nervous. But, it's fine. I will follow along, and whenever you're ready to go, just let me know.
We are going now to get gear from the forges.
Oh, okay. As you then all start to walk down and get a ferry that takes you down to the harbor's edge, over to the blazing anvil. Asja, do you depart from that and go to the mystic curiosities?
Yeah. As
Okay.
she leaves them there, she'll, finally catch eyes on this Theron and catch eyes on how big his gem is and kind of not so under her breath go, your mother was a very strong woman. As somebody who gives out those gems on child's births and stuff like that, it's like, that's a big gem for a baby. Oh boy. So she makes a comment on how robust his mother must have been to have had such a large child and, then continue walking off.
Before Asja leaves, I would like to take some of my coin and say,
Here, Asja. If we are going to be on the road, I don't see a point on carrying this. If you see something that's worth it for the travel, go ahead and, buy it. Also snacks, I guess.
so I want to give her 10 platinum and 7 gold.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow. Thank you.
Decent amount of money as you depart over to the curiosities. First, stay with
Yep.
the three here, the blazing anvil. There kind of welcomes you guys in. Good to see you all again. Or at least you two. I don't know you, but welcome. Forges are just heating up for the morning.
Oh, he's here looking for address, actually.
I'm not
I
here
don't
for
do
a dress.
dresses. You can try to
I was
shop
hoping
down
that I could
the-
get.
Oh, not
No,
looking for
I was
ah,
hoping I could get a dagger and a short sword. Just
easy enough.
basic would be fine.
Are you sure we have some fine equipment here?
I don't have
Might
time
be
for
a difference of life and death.
what kind of fancy.
Let's see. Kind of like eyes you up and down, like just getting a scope of your build. What do you prefer, short sword or dagger?
I prefer to wield both at the same time. And actually, if I could get a couple of daggers so I can potentially use them at the range.
See, let me see what we have.
Kind of goes back to the back as Nissa comes on forward. I thought that was you guys. Welcome in. We did get a message from the big old merchant Euan. He's gonna be paying for all your stuff, so you got it covered.
Oh, that was awfully nice of him.
Some sort of a deal, yeah. It's great. Let me go grab the plate for you, and then your sword was, I think Theron was just finishing the final touches on that. Yeah, then should be good to go there. Or were you getting armor as well? Kind of motioning towards you, Euan.
Yes, I had some armor commissioned as well.
I see. Alright, I'll go tell him. We should have it all ready to go. Gonna miss you guys around, though. Kind of looking more towards Euan. Been fun having someone else back here that listens to my ramblings.
I'm going to miss being here at the Forges. It's a good reminder of home and where I've come from.
This is not much anything like my home, but yeah.
Of course, I'll miss you as well.
Aw, you big lug. Alright, let me go grab this stuff. Dashes back.
Euan will kind of make his way over to the forges as they're heating up and get just a little too close, where most people would have been burned, but with his fiery nature, he's mostly alright, and just kind of breathe in the heat and the smell of the burning magic.
Okay.
And kind of let some of that nostalgia wash over him.
Just go ahead and roll. What am I gonna have you roll for this? A flame check, no.
Roll
just
a
roll a
cannoli.
Just roll a d20 for me. Oh
One.
no! Euan falls into the forge and dies. No.
I have joined Rhukkarrak.
No!
No, that's So, well, at first you kind of lean in and get involved by that heat, and it's very soothing for a moment. You take a sharp inhale, but then you just kind of twinge a little bit from the pain and get a little bit too close, or you're gonna take some fire damage.
That's fine.
Just go ahead and roll. Let's just say a d10 for me.
If you see it as Asja does, it's healing actually.
So like 2 points of fire damage as it kind of singes into the little too close, little too hot. You back away.
I felt the call of the flames. I shouldn't have listened.
All right. With that, Nissa, or not Nissa, Kalia brings up the rest of the gear. Starts to fit on the armor that you requested, Euan. Likewise with Maldorwen. That was already fitted yesterday, and so just hands that over. You guys can add that to your inventory now.
Yes.
And yeah, then with Rhukkarrak, she comes up with a couple daggers, just look relatively basic daggers, and then a short sword that looks basic as well. But then she does bring up a short sword that looks a lot more fancy. It is emblazoned with ember glass, kind of embedded into the blade itself. Like this, there wanted me to show you this. It's quite the piece of, well, quite the weapon, that's for sure. It, on a command word, it will, well, he says a arcane word, and the sword itself starts to heat up, and like the metal itself starts to glow orange for a moment before completely combusting in flame. And then now just like the hot flame just kind of lip at the side of the blade. I can do that like 2 times a day for a little while.
Oh, that is very fancy. Fire is not really my thing. Oh, but it would be nice against my enemies. How much for the bonuses?
Oh, for the he kind of looks over to Euan. I believe this was all paid for by Euan.
I believe
Oh.
so.
Well, in that case, I will take the fancy short sword
Alrighty,
and
glad to hear it.
the daggers.
Yep, and you can get outfitted with like as many daggers as you want. And then short sword, which I will send
Dagger,
you
dagger,
the
dagger.
stats on later.
DM, I forget.
I'm also
did we-
gonna need some bolts. Kalia, if that's fine. Sorry.
Absolutely.
You're fine. I forget, did we discuss if the armor had any special properties with the emberglass in it?
Yes, it would have given you just fire since you already have that though. I'll send you something later on.
Right, sounds good. I just
All
have
the
basic
stats on
half
there.
plate added to my sheet right now.
Yep. Okay, well, thanks for coming in, guys. Yeah, enjoy whatever trip you're going on, and hopefully the heat doesn't get to you too hot. With that, we'll move over to Asja, who is in. Curious, there it is. Here is an Asja shop. As you enter, there's a few patrons looking at, marveling at some of these oddities, like, "Whoa, what does this do?" And then Venos comes over. "Oh, well, you see, this does this and this. Huh?" I'm like, wow.
There's words there.
No. Venos. "Oh, welcome in, dear. Good to see you this morning."
Hello. It is good to see you too, but unfortunately, I have come to say goodbye for the harsh. I thought we
Ooh.
were staying, but Aeon has requested us to take a very important something to Valtari for him.
I see. He can be quite the persuasive businessman, yes. Well,
Again,
yeah, let me go grab something.
He goes
I-
behind a desk and starts to count some coins.
I don't need anything. Trust me. I just need you to do one thing for me. And she's going to kind of walk around and she's going to give him more like a familial kind of hug around his shoulders and a little kiss on the cheek. Just stay until after the harsh.
I think I can manage that. I think.
Good. When I come back, I will tell you all the adventures. And if I find anything interesting for your shop, I will make sure to bring it back so we can put it on the shelves.
I look forward to hearing that. But I insist, you promised that you would take payment.
Fine.
If not coin, maybe something around here you would interest you in your travels.
Unless you have something that allows me to communicate with people that are farther away.
I
I
believe I
don't
do.
think that there is anything.
Let me go check my scrolls.
Walks back for a moment. Little clattering, clanking. Oh, gosh darn. Before he returns.
It's fine, I'll clean it up later. This here.
Blow some dust off of this old-looking scroll.
It is a scroll of whispering winds. The winds themselves will carry your words. Limited, that is, but to someone you know familiar with.
Are you sure?
It is I think so, yes. Quite a valuable piece of merchandise, but you've been valuable yourself.
You have no idea what you have just done. Thank you so much. This gives me a chance to talk to somebody I need to talk to, or at least let them hear my voice. Thank you.
Yes.
Now, you stay to your promise. Don't forget what I told you in the morning. And she's going to go through this, like, a list of, don't forget to take this as a tea and do this and take some exercises and, like, it should... I will worry you, but I will write you letters and let you know how everything is going, and don't worry about responding, but just... You are now family, so... I will worry about you.
I hope that one day I can see my nephew once again. Hopefully in the future.
She's gonna give him a hug. And when she leans in to give him the hug, I will take you to see him. When the time is right. And you will have your time with him.
Nods.
But not now. You've kept keep your promise. Of course not now. I will see you soon. I need to go buy snacks. I am worried that we're going to run out of food. We ran out of food. Anyways, take good care. And make sure to... Bye. And she's going to go before she starts nagging him more.
Alright. As you head on out, all of you meet back up with this other individual. Like, right, it's time to go now. We're good to go. Yes. And it's really not.
Do any of the merchants traveling with us happen to be selling clothing?
Oh, not that I know of. No.
Ugh. I'd like to have another set of clothing, but I guess if we do not have time, I don't suppose there's any markets along the way.
It's Sensi. There's not going to be any markets.
Never mind. Let's go.
All right. So as you start to follow this individual to the Tideborn markets, Asja, you can easily enough see different food vendors that are all kinds of snack food, if you would. A lot of it is really fresh. Go ahead and just roll an investigation check to see how many, like, not as perishable foods you could find. 8. The most of the stuff you get is going to be really good for the next couple days, but after that, maybe not. You get a couple things that will last a little longer, but not a ton.
Okay.
At the very least, we always have Euan's good berries.
I mean, like, you can find rations and whatnot all over the place as well. But when it comes to, like, snack food, I don't know if I'd classify rations as snack food. Yeah. Alright, with that, this individual leads you closer down the docks to a bunch of different shipping vessels that all kind of have similar style to them. Probably assume that this is where Aeon keeps different vessels that he owns or works with. Right, we're gonna be going now. Anything else you need before we head on out? Because
probably should get moving.
Oh, wait. We're in the Tideborne markets? While Asja was looking for snacks, Rhukkarrak would definitely have been looking for change of clothes and a backpack.
Okay. Just go ahead and roll investigation check. I mean, clothes you can definitely find. Will just more expensive.
Yep. Third time.
Ruka, no.
Not even funny. At
He's
this
rushed.
point, it's just
He couldn't find
sad.
anything. It's fine.
So you do find clothes, but they're just like really like fancy clothes that, I mean, are probably way too overpriced from what you want to pay. But if you want to like spend like 10 gold on a pair of clothes, you could do so.
The backpack was more important than the clothing.
Yeah.
And if he can't get the backpack to put the clothing in, he's especially since it's too fancy. Yeah, no.
You can get like,
His,
a purse.
Yeah. Nope. That's okay. That's okay. All right then. I guess he's headed off with nothing.
Oh, man.
It's fine.
Rip. All right, with that, you all step forward towards this large galleon where this individual leads you to, and they kind of point up. Right, this is the Azure Gale. It will be taking you to Valtari. Now, here's the game plan right here. I think anything else you need? Or anything you want me to tell Euan?
For me, if you could just thank him for paying the forge.
Oh, absolutely can do. Right. With that, enjoy your trip. Good luck out there. And I'll tell Euan that you all meet at a board. He gives a nod and starts to scamper off. As you all step up onto the gangplank into a pretty large ship. It's definitely not the biggest ship in the harbor here, by any means. But it's definitely larger than the Leviathan Hunter's ship that you went out on. But probably a bit smaller than the Storm Warden's, like, military ship you went out on. The ship itself has, like, 3 masts. There are a couple ballista attached to the sides of it. They don't look as menacing as the ones the Leviathan Hunters were using, but still enough that you could potentially use them to ward off anything that will try to attack. As you do step on board here, you do see not super tall elf, but decent statured elf who steps down from like the wheel itself. They got piercing blue eyes and just kind of captain attire, pretty well dressed, not like noble dress, but pretty worn in their clothes, but fancier attire. You can assume from their dress they're probably the captain, as they introduce themselves. Welcome aboard. I'm Captain Reese. I'm told that you all will be the security on this mission, yes?
Yes.
Glad to hear.
Apparently.
As we will be traveling throughout the desert, there are many different types of creatures that might want what we have, and, well, they will need to be deterred. As well as we might run into bandits or other sorts that also will need to be deterred. We have those, pointing to the ballista, to help with that deterrent. However, some other hands will do good. I've been told that whatever we are bringing to Valtari is quite important. So, we shall do good in protecting it. Any questions?
No, I think it's pretty clear.
Good to know. Here, walk with me. As he starts to walk down the galleon here. Let me introduce you to the crew that you will be spending the next a month and a half with before we depart, and let the Gronthars do the rest of the work. As he kind of points over to an individual, feminine individual, who has these like long kind of flowing clothing that kind of just drift with this uncanny wind that isn't around, but they kind of wave back. It is Gale's, or Seal is a proper name, but Gale's nickname. She is our aeromancer. She will be giving us our artificial wind that will take us across the desert. Kind of nods and yet again just kind of waves and meets all of you with an eye before kind of looking and making sure everything is up to snuff with her aeromancy. Continuing on, you pass by a larger, shorter elven figure, but quite bulky. Not necessarily super muscular, but you can tell that this individual is like got the like workman strength, right? This is Gar. He is the deck leader and the quartermaster. He'll probably be dealing with you the most, unless you need something to talk with me. But he makes everything run quite good on the ship when I have other business to attend to. And as you see Gar here, he's kind of grizzled, definitely older elf, kind of peppered hair. As he kind of reaches a hand out to, we'll say Euan here. It's good to meet you all. Just, gonna be traveling quite some time.
Euan will take his hand and shake it back heartily. Aye, so it would seem. It's good to meet you as well.
Do any of you know what you're doing on a ship? Or are you just here for security?
I'm here for security.
We've had a little bit of experience with the Leviathan hunters, so we are familiar a little bit with ballista and a few of the other jobs around the ship, but mostly just security.
All right, well, good to know. I hope you can keep us secure. And with that, he kind of got final preparations to make, and heads off, continues to work. The next, we'll need to go down below, as the captain starts to take you down below deck. As you can see, there are like 3 tiers to this ship. There's the deck itself. Then below deck is where the living quarters are, more or less. Different cargo is stored here, as well as the captain then shows you to like where you will be sleeping. And it is definitely not super nice. They're basically just hammocks, tied up to one of the spots here. Like, yeah, it's another step down from the Flaming Flagon for sure, but it's gonna be fine. At least somewhere to sleep. On this deck, you do see a couple other people who run past, different deck hands. He kind of calls them out. That's Leary, there's Two Toes, and Tovi. It's like all are just kind of buzzing around. They kind of wave as they just go around making sure the ship is operational and ready to go. As you then descend 1 floor further, you can see that the immediate scent of like strong like soil kind of hits your nostrils. Rhukkarrak, you're pretty familiar with the scent, as brings back vivid memories of the previous night as you were spending some time with the Gronthars. Here down in the below deck is actually like pens, more or less, for a couple of Gronthars. And you see, as you step down, the captain salute, or not salutes, but kind of motions over to brass Drakthir kind of stands up a little bit and nods. This here is a shellback, is what we call him. Kind of looks a little embarrassed by the nickname, but kind of greets you all. He is in charge of, well, what do you do down here?
I watch after these.
Kind of motions to all the Gronthar. Looks like there's 4 of them down here. And they're pretty large size. They're like, they would be large creature size. So about the size of like a horse, but a lot wider than a horse because they're turtles. Yeah. And as you can see, Shellback here is currently like tidying up and like scratching with a brush one of the Gronthar shells. Whatnot. He just kind of gives a nod. And the captain then, well, that is pretty much everyone. I think we are due to set out. I know Ian wanted us out probably like 2 or 3 hours ago, but they'll be fine. Welcome aboard. And with that, the captain kind of gives you a nod and starts to head back up top. What all would you like to do?
Well, there is not much to do at the time being. I think I really feel the lack of sleep from last night. Do you think anyone would mind if I take a nap?
I certainly
Probably
don't mind.
not.
Well, if anyone needs me, I'll be in my cot, hopefully asleep, but we'll see. And he's gonna head over to where he pointed out the quarters.
Okay. Yeah, you're gonna find you kind of lay back in the cot. Yeah, it's suitable. What about the rest of you?
Unless all of you need me... Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Unless all of you need me, I'm going to go up to the top of the deck, where it's a little bit more open. It's been a while since I've held a great sword, so I'm going to go practice my form and technique. So that way, if a battle comes around, I am at least prepared, if I need to use it.
Good plan. What are you going to do, Maldorwen?
For now, I think watching Euan sounds interesting, I guess. What about you?
She kind of giggles and smiles and turns around to the copper Drakthir. So, what name do you like being called? I saw maybe you were a bit uncomfortable with Shellback.
Oh, they just kid around. It's fine, but my name is Orion.
It is nice to meet you. I am Asja. Can I help you with the Grunthars? I've never seen them before. Please?
Sure. I think that's probably something you can do.
I can pet them brush them like you're doing, or I could give them food, or I could just look at them with love.
Okay.
That you kind of starts showing you a little bit of the Gronthars and the unique different personalities between the different 4 there. One's like really timid and stays in its shell most of the time. One's like a little crazy, and you have to like be careful or it's gonna like bite your hands off. The other ones are just a little less personable, but shows you a little bit of how to take care of the Gronthar there.
Okay.
As Euan and Maldorwen step up to the deck. The ship itself is just about to leave. You see one of the deck hands start to pull up the gangplank, and the anchor is drawn as well. Right before someone, we'll say Maldorwen, you pick up on it first, having the higher perception, trudges up towards, goes, "Wait! Don't go yet! I'm supposed to be on board!" As the captain kind of looks over. "What is this?" "I just got approval. I'm on this ship too." As the deckhand's like, "Okay," looks at the captain for assurance. Captain just kind of shrugs, and the gangplank's back down. Before you, stepping up onto the ship as well, is a very tall individual, probably close to 8 feet tall. And this individual is a Thalgrim, the Goliaths, if you would. Kind of ashen gray skin tone. Quite the hefty build. All manner of different, what appears to be tattoos scrawled across their body. As they kind of step up. "Oh, good. Glad I made it." As the captain and him start to converse a little bit. That's just something you notice as well. Before then, you notice the gales, if you would, start to control the wind. As the sails start to billow, and off the Tybor markets you start to sail out into the harbor itself, and then you have a quick checkup on the storm wardens. Give a quick okay, yeah, okay, you guys are leaving. And again, exiting the city is a lot easier than entering the city. And so they check different paperwork and whatnot, or the gates are opened, and you guys set on out off to the west of the city, where there is a river that goes, at least a river currently. The river kind of dries up during Embervale, but it currently stretches out into the Sand Sea for a decent amount of time. And that is the river you are currently taking. And so as the galleon starts to head that way, you all are on board and exiting the city. You see the city walls kind of close behind you, and once again you are no longer in the comforts and niceties of a large civilized area, but rather out in the wilds per se. But you have some company to at least make this trip maybe interesting, as the ship starts to sail past the many dunes of sand. What do you all want to do? You and do just to continue to
Rhukkarrak's
practice?
sleeping, so
Yeah, Euan is up on the deck trying to make a bit of a wide berth as he's practicing. He hasn't worn armor in a long time. He hasn't used a greatsword in a long time. And so he's just kind of slowly and methodically, to get used to it, moving through various forms, techniques that he learned decades ago at this point. Trying hard to recall those memories so that way he can effectively use the weapon should he need to.
Okay. Another one, you're just watching Euan perform some of these exercises.
Yes, but not really. He will be more interested in taking out his map from his scroll case, and he's gonna be trailing the course of the river and comparing it to the one on his map, trying to see if the river has changed, and trying to maybe see how long they're gonna be, or just checking the route in general.
Okay.
And
Go
yeah,
ahead
just
and just roll wisdom with your cartography tools.
Okay, cartography tools with wisdom. Okay, so it's gonna be whatever I roll plus 6.
Okay.
Okay, I want to... No, you know what? It's okay. It's, 9.
All right. So with the 9, you definitely can see that there has been change, as you know that there would be, just with the nature of like the CNC. It is ever changing. And so you kind of mark down those changes, trying to gauge how far the river will go inland to Valtari is a little tricky because you're not exactly sure how far it is actually going to go. So you would assume that it would at least go probably like a fourth of the way, maybe a bit further. You're not exactly sure. But you kind of seeing the map and kind of gauging the speed that you guys are traveling, you're not going slow. Like, you're moving faster than when you and Rhukkarrak made the journey from Kertes to Elendor, but not incredibly quicker. So you know that you probably will be on this ship for a good couple, like at least a month or so.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to mark, like, yes, as we go, and as you said, just like kind of compare a little bit, and that's it for now.
Okay. So as you all kind of go about your first steps outside, or metaphorical steps, that is, outside of the city, the boat taking you on its way. Currently, this part of the journey is quite easy. There's nothing really that you are required to do, but then ward off danger if danger arises. And so, the first day here starts to elapse as you all spend some time going about learning a little bit more about people on the ship, perhaps, before you all kind of been a good 3 or 4 hours on deck at this point. Asja, you've learned all the different Granthar names, and I can send those to you if you want.
Yes, please.
Of course. The different their quirks and whatnot. A little bit about Orwin, who is from the Pyroclast Isles originally, has been kind of taking care of Granthar for several years now. You're gonna say something?
I think she'll probably primarily try and focus more on the shy one, just to get used to the creatures of extraordinary size that she's not used to.
No.
But yeah, she is going to be trying to make conversation, and when he says he's from the Pyroclast Isles, she's going to go, "Oh, in my city we have a couple of people that came from Pyroclast Isles I've heard of," and she'll just kind of mention a few things as if, like, "Hey, yeah, do you know Bob over here?" It's like, that my country's really big, right? Like, not so kind of dumb, but just like, right. She'll try and make it be, she's trying to make conversation, but she's only going to do this, like, as you said, for about 3 or 4 hours. But as the sun starts to go down again, she'll be like, "I should probably go and find out where my friends are. Do you mind if I spend some time of days down here?
Not at all.
I like being
appreciate the help.
I don't really, I like the sun, but I'm not very used to it. I'm more used to being in environments like this. This is much more comfortable."
It is going to get quite hot.
Oh, hot I'm okay with, but the sun, I am kind of worried about how my skin is going to go. But if I could be down here, that I could give you a hand. And that could make me feel good about being on the ship, aside from being security, which I'm not so good at. but I can heal people very well.
That's neat.
Okay, tomorrow I will see you, and I will bring snacks. I like snacks.
Gives a nod.
She will scamper up to the deck.
All right.
Rukka's probably not going to sleep all day.
Okay.
He's going to, especially if the area where he's at is kind of secluded, or at least empty for the time being.
Mhm.
After resting for a bit, he'll get up and take some time to meditate a little bit. Again, still trying to connect with this, whatever it is that's given him his abilities.
Right.
And then he'll just kind of wander around he'll go around the ship kind of purposely, talking to the different people, trying to help him out, and just getting a feel for this ship and how it operates, so that he's not useless, just standing around.
Right. Okay. Go ahead and just roll a charisma check for me as you meditate again. Oh my god. What?
What?
The fourth natural one!
going on?
What is it? Oh my god.
Like,
what
like
the
you've had some
hell?
really good rolls, but still 4 natural ones. Like what?
Are your dice in on the meme now or something?
Oh my
Like,
gosh.
You know what?
Like,
A lot
you
of his
have
bad
like
rolls were
10
when he
natural
was.
ones in like the last
Yeah.
3 sessions. What is this?
A lot of these really bad rolls have been when he's been
Good.
trying to explore his powers and abilities and that kind of stuff. Like, whatever this deity or entity or whatever that's giving him his abilities does not want anything to do with him. Apparently, he's just
Yeah, as you sit there and meditate, you just try to focus on whatever you call upon when you form your magic, when you try to see other magic. And it's just feels so instinctual at this point. Like you've been doing it for so long that you just really struggle with saying, is there really something else out there giving me this power? Or is it just who I am? You just, after a little while, just don't recognize anything.
obviously Rukka is a god, so it's his own power.
He's the god of natural ones, yes.
Oh no! Okay. Well, there's that.
Alright. With that, Asja, what are you doing? You said you were gonna go meet up with everyone?
yep, she's gonna go up on the deck and I guess go over to where Euan is practicing or sitting, rubbing his like knees and hips after practicing. And if Maldorwen's still on the deck as well. I have learned all about Gronthars today. How are the both of you? Are you settling in? Euan, do you have the tummy problems like you did last time we were on ship? Do I need to make tea for you?
Perhaps. Sorry, I'm very happy for you that you learned about the Gronthars. That's very cool. I just have overdone it, and he's kind of panting heavily, and he has this wicked grimace on his face. That's definitely he overdid it with his injury, and he's in pain more than anything.
Asja just kind of shakes her head. You know I could lecture you right now, right?
I know.
You know I'm not going to though, right?
That
Instead,
surprises
I
me a
will.
little bit.
Well, I will figure out how to help you. Is it the actual scar, or is it the insides that hurt more?
It is the insides.
All right, let me see what I can go figure out. I should still have maybe something that could help reduce the inflammation a little bit, help you out. But you are going to have to promise me that you are going to take this easy. We have a whole month.
I will take it easy. And while I am taking it easy, I would love for you to tell me about the Granthars.
There are 4 of them. And she looks about it. You heard him promise, right? Maldorwen's not on the deck. Not sure.
One of the deckhands. I had it.
Excellent. Thank you.
I'll
Oh,
keep
yes,
him
there
to
are
it
4 of them.
too.
I appreciate that very much. You're a good person. Thank you. Yeah, there are 4 of them. 2 of them, kind of boring. 1 of them, ooh, he has fire inside of him. Very much fire in. But then there is one. She is so cute. She's very small. She likes being in her shell more. She's so shy. But she's very sweet and she likes being brushed. I get to go down and help every day. I figure that is something I can do.
Well, we'll have to make sure that they make it through this journey just like us.
Exactly. That is part of our job, security. Also, when do you think they're going to feed us? We didn't really have breakfast this morning.
No, we didn't. You're
Or
right.
do we have to feed ourselves? Do you think there's a cook?
This time it's Euan's stomach's turn to grumble and growl a little bit as he's just used a lot of his energy trying to do this. I don't know, but perhaps we should find out.
I think that's probably a good idea. Okay, you get somewhere comfortable and let me go and find Gar, and I can ask him about the meal situation, because maybe that's somewhere else I can help out, is make sure that the food tastes okay. We wouldn't want bad tasting food now, would we?
Of
Very
course not.
bad for morale. Mm-hmm.
Euan will kind of use the railing to pick himself up off the deck and try to look for, like, sandbags or something that might be sitting on deck that would sit a little bit higher for him and perhaps be a little bit softer than, the wooden deck of the ship.
Mm-hmm.
So he can sit down on those instead. So that way, when we do know where food is, he can actually get up and make it there without everyone eating it before he makes it there.
Okay, as Asja will help him settle into the sandbag, pretty much. And she's gonna kind of push it up around his hip a little bit. And she's going to use prestidigitation. I believe I can do this. Just to warm the bag. She wants to warm the bag. Yes, I can minor sensation. She is going to minor sensation
Okay.
the sandbag that he is sitting on to warm it up, to create basically like one of those magic beanbag, things that you can put on stiffens, or she'll just kind of there. That should help a little bit. Let me go find the car. Food will help too.
I'll say it's probably not a sandbag, but some sort of bag of like rations, like a bag of rice or something. And warm up.
She's eating up the
Little
rice.
heat pad
Then.
for you.
Yeah, she's making you a heating pad. There we go.
Aww.
Right. As you locate Gar, he kind of gives you a nod. What can I do for you?
I was just wondering, what is the food situation on board? Do you have a cook already? Do you need someone to cook?
Oh, I usually do.
When
the
do we
cooking.
expect meals? We didn't have breakfast, so would I be able to make a little breakfast for us? Is that okay?
Kind of
Maybe?
looks over to the.
It's getting kind of late. I mean, I was probably
Okay,
gonna
can
get
I help
working
you
on
make dinner?
Sure.
Can I help you in the kitchen?
I
I'm
was just gonna
good
make
in the
some
kitchen.
stew.
Oh, do you like spicy food, by the way?
Who doesn't?
She opens her bag and pulls out a bottle of Marley's. I have this.
I don't know what
Oh,
it is.
Ruka's
but-
gonna die on this
There.
trip.
Marley's.
I just know it.
I don't know if you've ever been to the Flamin' Flagon and had Marley hot sauce. But
I've been
this,
there, but
this,
I don't know about hot sauce.
next time you go, ask for the secret hot sauce. Trust me. Let's go to the kitchen. You could try some. And also, we have a very
Okay.
starving Drakthir out there, so probably making food would be good soon. Let's go.
All right. Go ahead and
She's just gonna
just
go to the kitchen and help.
roll a food check. No, just roll with your wisdom. A survival check or something like that.
10.
Okay.
You said
The
wisdom, so I just rolled straight wisdom.
yeah, that works. The cooking utensils here are very basic. There's not a huge like kitchen by any means, but a pot and a stew, and starts to make that up. When you help make it a little less bland than it probably would have been, but you kind of already know. Oh man, it's gonna be
It's gonna be a long.
it's gonna be a
month.
while until you have food like you had with Gronk the other night, like if ever.
I try. Like she's gonna do exactly what in there and like that. But while he has his back turned, the spoon goes in. She'll quickly add something and stir it in, and then go back to doing what she was doing. You know, just trying to make it a bit less, a bit more palatable. There we go. In her mind, palatable. There we go.
Right. Alrighty. With that, Euan, as you are sitting on the deck there, just kind of wincing a little bit, but trying to bear the pain, this Valgren comes and approaches you.
Hello. It is a pleasure to meet you.
It's nice to meet you. You'll have to forgive me if I don't stand. I'm on strict orders to take it easy right now. But they'll still offer. Euan will still offer his hand to the Thalgrim.
Shakes it with a firm handshake.
Do you mind?
Kind of motions towards another bag of rice or something near you.
Not at all.
Plunks down as the ship around you kind of shakes a little bit.
The name's Cordrin. I study the law of stone. Keep a history. You caught my eye.
Kind of motions to your greenness.
Euan kind of smirks, already knowing where this conversation's going. Aye. It's a bit of an oddity.
I don't want to pry. We only just met, that is. But if you're willing to talk about it sometime in the next, well, however long this trip will be, I'd be glad to listen.
Euan looks at him. Not quite like staring intently, but just kind of sizing him up and thinking, I think I'd like that.
Gonna nod.
It'd be great to have documentation.
I hope you're prepared for a very bloody and grisly tale.
Such is so often on tales regarding people of importance.
Of importance, you say? And he'll kind of keep that smirk, but there's a quick flash of sadness in his eyes. Before relaxing back into the bean bags a little bit more and adjusting it so it's not quite as much pressure on his hip, where the scar and everything is. We'll definitely talk. You'll have to forgive me, I'm not in too much of a state at the moment to regale you with my tale, but...
Not at all. No forgiveness needed. Let
Yes,
me know
it's a
when
pleasure
you're
to
ready.
meet you.
What was
Absolutely.
Mm.
your name?
Euan.
Euan. Pleasure.
Kinda stands up, towering over you as you're sitting still. Just kind of nods down to you, then trots off.
What an interesting fellow. For once, I'm not the tallest guy in the room. That's an interesting feeling. Kind of mutters to himself as he walks away.
All right. Rhukkarrak, I think at this point, like, dinner is called, if you would. Everyone kind of greets up on the deck as Gar here is now serving out food to all of you. Kind of Asja by his side for a moment with the food that's probably a little bit more spicy than some of your likings. But most of the people here are elves, and so that's what they eat.
And Rhukkarrak has been amongst them long enough that he is tolerant of such spice. He does not enjoy it, but he's tolerant of it.
I can imagine, though, that Euan and Asja probably put more hot sauce in their stew.
Of
Was
course.
cooked into it originally.
Definitely. Asja puts a bottle between Euan and herself.
As everyone is eating here, kind of looking around, seeing all the new faces, the crew, the captain kind of stands up for a bit. Well, it is good to have everyone on board. This journey will probably be a good month or month and a half, depending on, well, exactly what we come across. Well, Gales, you can get us there, though, right? As the Aeromancer kind of nods her head. But of course I can. My winds will tell you it's true. Honestly, one thing that you do notice, that you weren't, it was all, a lot of new information was happening. This Aeromancer does have a really, really ornate, bracelet that does contain what you believe to be a Landris. It is a ruby.
Okay.
But it is a pleasure to have new people on board and old as well. Kind of motions to you and then also to this Thalgren. I hope that we do not come across anything too dangerous, but if we do, let's hope we all have each other's back. Enjoy the meal. That he kind of sits down and grabs a bowl to himself. As currently the sun is starting to completely set. It's not fully set at this point. You guys have now been traveling for almost the entire day. You no longer see Elendor in the back at all. You've well gone past it. Just kind of see the river going forward and the river going back. And on both sides of it, it's the dunes. All kinds of just hills and hills of sand. With the occasional, especially towards the river, there are the different bushes and whatnot that use the water to live. But yeah, you guys just kind of have a moment there, eating your food, and continuing.
I think with this being really a first experience for Asja to actually experience the night sky in a very long time, because even when her and Euan were traveling there, they were still in the woods for a good majority of it. I think when she's done eating, she's going to go to the front of the boat and just take in a full view with no city lights obstructing them for really the first time in 80 years. The night sky and the stars and the planets, and she'll call back and, "Hey, Maldorwen, are they always this bright? The stars, that is."
Well, yes. I mean, they are brighter from Kertas, but it's because Kertas is closer. Matching the conflict, I see.
Well, do your people have different names for the stars? She points over at one of the few constellations that she might know, kind of like every human knows the Big Dipper, the Little Dipper, and kind of go, "That's one we call," and she'll say the elven name for it. Do you have a different name for it?
Yes, of course.
Well, how do your people name the stars?
After great Carthusi warriors, of course. Even some of your people as well.
Do you see these as your ancestors then?
Some of them, yes.
Is this why you look to them so much? Do they tell you things?
Yes, they are always speaking to me. And, well, everyone who wants to listen. They tell the tale of the passing of time as they war for Zorica itself.
You said anybody could hear them. So if somebody paid very close attention, even if they were not Cartusi, they could hear them as well?
Yes, they could. Of course. The conflict is, prevalent, omnipresent here. Zorica is always changing because of it. Every season, planets struggle for dominance, and with that comes all that we observe, the change. With that came war, and peace, and food, and, everything, of course. And, well, the conflict doesn't hide. It's out there in plain view when, the tide fiends come into the city and try to eat us, or stuff like that. Just right now, I think I saw some in the river, some Zorex eating each other. But
that is the balance. That is how it happens. Life and death, it's always a constant balance. Sometimes there needs to be some more death than there is life, because Maybe things just aren't quite right. Maybe this is why there's your conflict. See, where I come from, we don't... It's not that we don't see the sky. It's just we don't see... We see it through cracks. So for us, the stars are just... stars. For us, when you listen and you close your eyes and you listen to the life and the buzz of the land, that's what speaks to you. So I think I understand. I also think I'm starting to understand what you mean by the conflict now. Still don't fully understand it, but I'm starting to understand more. Maybe I will spend some time to just listen so I can understand more.
You spoke about balance, and that is something that I have been thinking about as well. I'm wondering if there would be an equivalent period of peace after the Ember War. If time would sort of, much like you and I or whoever, take some moments to heal, for the scars to, perhaps be green again. Like, the lands in the north that still are marked by the end of the war.
I like your idea. I think it's good. It would be nice if there was a time of peace that was long enough for people's scars to heal, or the grief to subside at least a little bit more. But as we both know, you as somebody who studies the conflict, and I, somebody who was raised to learn about histories and how, unfortunately, a lot of the time they repeat themselves. With what happened in Elendor, I don't know if this time of peace will be a time of healing. I'm hoping it will. I'm hoping that maybe, just maybe, there will not be ramifications from what happened on the beach that day. But I don't know. Again, it's all about the balance.
Well,
I leave it up to whatever is going to happen is going to happen. I am just a small, tiny little... She points at the star. A small, tiny star in this galaxy. While I can make some change, I cannot make the change to extend the time of peace if the time of peace is ready to be done.
I'm still not convinced that said balance exists. Yes, like you said, the themes of the conflict repeat themselves just like the seasons. For us, we take pride in remembering the names, especially those who were worth it. So, I don't know. My memory seems to recall a much longer time of war then there has been peace. So either we are going to have a long, long-lasting peace, or perhaps there is no balance, just conflict.
Or maybe the conflict was not yet done, but because it came to such an abrupt end, it still has a little bit left. Sometimes where I come from, even though after Embervale and the forests burn and the waters start to come in again, sometimes there's still tiny areas that just ignite into fire again. Her voice drops. And with everybody searching for this book, how important is this book? We know now
Well.
that most of the important people in Elendor are looking for it. Whether independently or together, it seems.
It seems to be related with the stars, so funny that you mention it, but perhaps it is just a way of understanding them in a different manner. And, well, I am speaking as a Carthusianum as I say this. Sometimes people are just too attached to their stories to let them go. Perhaps this is one of those cases. But I am not still convinced of how important it might be. I think from what I saw on that cell down there, the Khazdurim are indeed people that are, well, seemingly willing to risk everything just for the prospect of trade and obtaining some promise of goods or gold. And I am still not sure how the book plays a part on all this.
I was not speaking specifically about the Castorum. I was speaking sometimes even people who can look like your best friend can be the bad person in the story. My concern is that now the Sunspire Dominion side is also looking for this book. We don't know exactly what it does, but maybe we have a little bit of an idea that it has something to do with an ancient power. But I know it was important enough. Never mind. I know that it's important. But now if the Khazdorim, or at least a Khazdorim, is looking for it, and some in the Sunspire Dominion, it can't lead to good things if one side finds it and the other side doesn't, but they are looking for it. Maybe it would be in our best interest to also look into it. Almost be judges of who should actually have it, or whether it should, if it still exists, disappear from time. I don't know.
We did see something down there in Elendor, and many people, Dagan included, have spoken about the sites of power. That's what the Sentinels were looking for. But as I said, I don't know. It just seems like, well, you know how right now we have primal embers, and say Kertos has a monument where pretty much our city revolves around it, and it is something that we have in a way also worshipped as a gift of the conflict. What I saw down there just made me think about the way that ancient people would worship their primal essences, especially something from Akuor. I don't know if there was something that had to do with whatever we're looking for, and if that is related, then if all these places are scattered across Aruthar, then how are you supposed to access such power? It's not like you can be at all those places at once, can you?
No, but perhaps they are places that are somehow connected together some other how. I don't know. I'm just saying that we should probably not completely disregard the book as something important.
Oh, I'm not disregarding it. I know of its importance just because of everyone thinks that it is important. I'm just saying that, I'm a bit skeptical of all this. You see, well, there might be a theme in Aruthar about a book that may spark the conflict again, but in the end, that is just conflict. It's just things returning to how I remember them, if that is what it comes to.
Yes, but what I'm saying is that perhaps we have a chance now to help slow whatever it might be coming. Or even prevent it. Who knows? Either way. One last question for you.
Yes?
If you had a chance to reach out to somebody, let's say that somebody you thought was maybe gone for a very long time, what would you say to them? To let them know that you still care about them, but that this is more a business call than a personal call. I have a chance to perhaps try and reach out to my father. I'm still very confused about how I feel about him still being alive, to be very honest. I should be very happy, but I have a lot of questions. But he should also know that people are growing interested in something that, well, I'm pretty sure that he and my mother were studying. I don't know how deeply, but if you were looking for information on the book, you would probably look for people who have read the book. I should probably let him at least know that he should watch himself. But I want to make sure that he also... I don't have to come back to his life if he doesn't want me to. I just don't know what to say. What do I say?
It sounded like you know exactly what to say. Or, well, you know. But you made me think of something, Asya. I remember this is something that I used to do with him all the time. Especially when we were younger and he still was around before he left for military training. And he always used to say that he would have the brightest star named after him. That even if it had to be born, he would outshine everyone else. And I just keep telling him about the great heroes of our past that, you know, even I as a kid knew the things they said about them were impossible. But he never backed down from that crazy idea. He never did adjust. He never stayed in a place for too long. He never stood still. He's more like the wind than myself. And I do think about him. I know his name. He's my brother. I still wonder if he thinks about mine at night as he watches the stars wherever he is. But if we are fighting against feelings like that from people that want the book, I don't know if we can do anything about it. I don't know if maybe that is something that your father had as well. A reason so powerful that is beyond all reason.
She's going to turn, kind of not being rude about it, but kind of like kneel down so that she's like closer to Maldorwen's level, and smile. If my father still has a sense of duty, if my father still remembers what our family name holds, then I have faith my father very much be there to help in the end. However, if my father is yet to find what he's looking for, then unfortunately my father will be as useless as a broom on a mud floor.
Can I get perception checks from the four of you?
I'm afraid.
14.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay, 23 maybe?
14 for Euan?
Is that considered a fail?
23 no.
9.
23 is success.
Okay.
Alright, so we'll say Maldorwen, you're the first to notice. As you and Asja are talking here, you kind of look up, and the last few words Asja says kind of go to... You don't really pick up on them because you stare out in front of the ship. Something's just not right. Like, it's dark now. Darkness has kind of overcome this sand sea here. It looks like there's some sort of fog in front of you. Like a blanket of fog. You see the river just kind of descend into blurriness.
Okay. So, like, the first thing that I want to do is, like, Asja knelt to be like at his height, so he's going to like tackle her into the ground, and like roll away a little bit with her, and then like stand up and call out and say,
Watch out, there's something in the waters. It's very dark, so I can't see, but it doesn't bode well.
Euan will
As-
stand up and rush over.
All right.
Yep,
As you all
Rhukkarrak
kind
will
of
join.
look out, the ship starts to enter into this blanket of fog. It starts to encompass the entirety of the ship, as the captain is now like, "What is going on?" As you hear like distant something in the background, like a. You're not quite sure what to place it, but moments later, large metallic spikes cling onto the ship itself like grappling hooks, anchor themselves onto the ship, as now the ship is completely immersed in fog as the ropes go tight on these hooks, and you can't see much all around you. The visibility here is incredibly shallow. You can probably see maybe 10 feet in front of you, as you're not quite sure what's happening. Everybody on board starts to go into a panic as what is happening. You hear Gar start to call out, People man the harpoons!" As some of the deckhands start to go towards that, as other people start to just try to get into some formation of battle plans. They're not exactly sure what is happening here, but it looks like someone or something is trying to onboard the ship. You hear the captain call out to Gales, "Can you get this fog away?" And she recalls back, "I'll try." What are you all doing?
Rhukka is going to draw both sword and dagger and move towards the closest clank sound, metallic clank.
Okay.
I'm going to assume that the spikes that are on the ship, they're not attached to rope, are they?
No, the spike was like a grappling hook that was shot from something potentially, and is now like grappled onto the ship and is taut, like anchoring the ship to something.
Right. But I can't see like what sort of cordage is being used to capture it tight.
If you, the one that you can see right next to where you were sitting, it just kind of descends into the fog.
All right. I need to see what this does.
okay, are Rhukka and Yuan on deck?
Yeah. At this point,
Okay.
We were all
everyone's
on deck eating.
Yep.
Yeah, you two went off to talk, but we were all on deck eating.
Okay, perfect. So I would like, if I'm in range, which is 30 feet, or if I can get in range with my 30 feet of movement, I would like to cast a bless on everyone.
Okay, go ahead
or at
and
least
just roll a perception check for me, because with the dense fog, like you can't really see exactly where they are. You kind of knew where they were. You're gonna have to try to run towards them to do so.
Okay, sure. Yeah. Like he's after running on the floor with Asja, he'll stand up and like run towards them and tell her like,
Asja, watch out.
and let's see, perception check you said.
Oh,
Oh
yeah,
my
you can barely see what's in front of you. Like with all the hectic, everything going on, you do not know where Euan and Rhukkarrak are in this moment.
It's because I said Rhukkarrak. That's the reason.
Okay, I see it.
Yeah,
Valid.
that's how it is. And okay.
So,
Sorry. Oh, yes, since I can't see anything, I guess I'll just like take out my crossbow and load a bolt and call out for the others. And I'm sorry, go ahead, and that's it.
yeah, no, I was just going to ask the DM during our tour, did the captain indicate where the merchandise was being held?
He did not.
Because Rhukka is pretty sure that whoever's here is here to get that, and he would like to head towards it. But if he doesn't know where, then
there was cargo like on the second deck, like below deck. But the captain did not call out anything like, yeah, this is what we're protecting.
Yeah, okay. Then yeah, no, he'll like I said, he went towards the closest clank. He's trying to gaze into the fog and see if he can disconnect whatever's anchoring them. Is it rope or metal?
It appears to be rope, like the actual anchor
Okay.
is.
He's gonna start trying to cut it.
All right, as you do that, Asja, what are you doing in this moment?
Laying on the floor, kind of stunned for a moment. She will. Was there just one clank, or were there multiple clanks?
You could hear multiple. You're not sure how many because just of the hectic nature of the scenario, but you definitely heard more than one.
Was there one that seemed relatively closer to her?
Probably, yeah.
Okay. I guess she's going to, seeing as vision is slightly impaired, she's going to get up and hold the railing of the ship, I guess, and kind of move as swiftly as she can, like carefully but swiftly down the edge until finds this metal thing.
Okay.
And then she is going to reach down to the rope. And she's going to use prestidigitation, fire play, and she is going to light a fire on the rope, a torch-sized fire on the rope, and start burning the rope.
All right, we'll get back to that. As you all are kind of frantically going about doing what you're trying to do here, Rhukkarrak and Asja, you two being right next to the ropes there, you see the rope itself start to like bounce almost, as very quickly later you see footfalls on the rope itself as individuals are walking across this rope and they jump on board. As you do so, the chaos just emits even larger here as the captain calls out, "We're being onboarded!" And that is what we're going to pick up next week.
I'm afraid I'm in danger.
Oh man.